Where the unsigned go to get heard. QSJ Radio.
Today's show is brought to you by Wavy Fuego. Wavy Fuego is an up-and-coming inspired producer out of Northern Virginia. Go ahead and cop his stuff, download, play it, freestyle it, and send it back here to QSJ Radio for a chance to get something out of it. Thank you again for tuning in to QSJ Radio.
QSJ Radio.
You're listening to QSJ Radio, the home of unsigned artists, where your wife, side chick, and baby mama comes to see your favorite DJ. Oh, my bad. I thought you knew. Playing artists from all over the world, making us the #1 station for underground, unsigned, and unheard artists, giving them a place to always be heard. Visit www.qsjradio.com for ways to get promoted with QSJ Radio. Any content provided by QSJ Radio will not be resold or shared without consent from the artist, label, or representative. Thanks again for tuning in to QSJ Radio.
Husky. Welcome to my puzzle world. It's funny these niggas playing crazy games out here, man. But they like, I don't see this shit. But I see this shit. Yeah, CT, we here, man. It's funny how some niggas like to act the part. It's entertaining watching you trying to be part of culture. But nothing new. They've been doing this since way back. Trying to copy a nigga swag. Who okayed that? Never mind, cause Em did it, now you pass. Newsflash, cause M's nice, but you trash. And it was real hip-hop, something that you bash. Cause you like to auto-tune everything you gas. Oops, did I hit that nerve? Did I say too much to offend you, nerd? Go ahead and blog about it, and tell Facebook too. Try to get me shut down, that's the shit you do. I play different, clip niggas, Blake Griffin. Like, hey, listen, the 9 lifting, it ain't missing. I am beef, I'm trying to tell you this bad business. Don't do it, these hollow tips, they go through them. Yeah, but you do it for the gram, you ain't wanna beef. You just trying to get the door, you ain't about the street. But you yapping like you all, couldn't let it be. Better give a nigga space when he tryna eat. But you do it for the gram, you ain't wanna beef. You just tryna get the door, you ain't about the street. But you yapping like you all, couldn't let it be. Better give a nigga space when he tryna eat. Don't knock a nigga's hustle. And if you got some kids, I'm trying to school you to the game. That's if you're trying to live. That's equivalent to something like you making threats. Or even worse, who you trying to impress? As far as rap go, well, your flow is a mess. No bass in your voice, and I don't get the effects. I probably rated it too, and that's at its best. A little rhythm here and there, but you copy the rest. But it's cool, cause that's what we expect. Trash in a bucket, sad but you love it. I got my foot on your neck, you can't stand that I'm buzzing, but you gon' have to deal with it. Understand that you nothing, but you do it for the gram. You ain't wanna beef, you just tryna get the dough. You ain't about the street, but you yapping like you are. Couldn't let it be. Better give a nigga space when he tryna eat. But you do it for the gram. You ain't wanna beef, you just tryna get the dough. You ain't about the street, but you yapping like you are. Couldn't let it be. Better give a nigga space when he tryna eat.
Where the unsigned go to get heard. QSJ Radio.
Yeah, I started it off because some of those bars actually are what's going on behind here at QSJRadio.com. So shout out to Husky Boy, you know, he got a flow, he got studio flavor, broadcast ready material and stuff like that. But there's a big butt coming. And there's a big butt coming. Big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, man. Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. So if my man's Boys for Life ain't never heard of you, you kind of not grinding. That's what it is. That's what it is. What up, G? If Gigi ain't never heard from you, my man G, you ain't really grinding. I mean, you in CT though. But we not talking about him. Anyways, big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home of the unsigned artists. I'm trying to give the opportunity for some people to be able to call in on the subject that we got today. All right? The subjects that we got today are the IRSC codes for music and not review shows, but somebody help me out here because I forgot to post. Let me go back to my post. Ain't nobody gonna help me out, man. Ain't nobody interacts with my Facebook. I ain't got titties. Ain't nobody, you know what I mean? They don't look out, especially when your boy, like, is not a female. I noticed a lot of things, man. You guys are fucking up. You guys are fucking up. But we're gonna keep it gully right now. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. If you didn't know, July 16th, the homie Drew Yates will be back here in the building. Thank you so much for taking it serious. You know what's crazy is that he's so established. I still don't know why he comes over here. Maybe he might tell us. Maybe he might tell us why he keeps coming back to QSJ Radio. And maybe sometimes, maybe one of y'all motherfuckers might take me serious and come on the air. With QSJ Radio. I don't know. Maybe that is it right there. Big shout out to the homie Drew Yates. This is all over the place right now. I'm gonna throw that Drew Yates there in a second. And then of course, shout out to CLNY, active duty right now. She's out to sea, so she's doing her country thing. She's gonna be in the building. The events are out right now. If I invited you, man, just, you know, click the OKs, man. Just shout to that. You want people to come to your shit. Shout out to everybody listening in. Please comment like crazy. I really don't care. Madla is live right now, if you guys didn't know. So we're going to talk about the RISC codes and services that you should be investing in. And on the online community of the review show, I'm going to not only say who the fuck you shouldn't be fucking with, I'm going to ask you guys your experience. And then you got to have a real reason why you don't fuck with certain people. For real.
Better give a nigga space when he tryna eat me space, nigga.
That's how we're going to keep it today, man. Woof. Gully. QSJRadio.com. In the middle of all this, we're gonna play some songs, man. So make sure you guys submit your music. Shout out to the shares. You don't get ahead of the line for shares. Big shout out to Boys for Life. They always in the building. Well, currently. So we're gonna talk about this IRSC codes. I don't know if you guys see. There's a lot of a lot of things going on in the background here. I'm gonna figure that shit out right now so we don't have these skips. I'm not trying to have skips, man. Let me see what I fucked up in. That's not it. That's it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. The hell is that? Some extra shit. Shout out to that. Shout out to the 51st episode of That Dorky Show. That Dorky Review Show. I got a crash right here. I don't know what the hell happened. I hope you guys are still in the building. Let me know.
Yeah. Chow. This smoke, I feel I'm getting close. They don't switch lanes nowadays. Niggas switching roads, you don't even know you're broke. That word is getting old. This one's for the real. Yeah, for real. A lot of things change, not a thing is the same. Except I'm still humble, I'm just weighing the pain. I walked out the jungle like a nigga Damon Wayans. And big shout out to Flames, I appreciate everything. I've always been observant, I was watching and learning. My city shedding tears, tomorrow is not for certain. You gotta close the curtains one day, and when I do, I hope you can look at me and say. I've always been observant.
Hurricane season. Out there in the south, man, make sure you guys are in the building. Alright, so let's start with this IRSC code. And if you guys have been following, then you probably went ahead and Googled what an IRSC code is and why you need it and how you should get it. So the information provided for you was released before the new year, and it was on unifiedmanufacturing.com. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. This an IRSC code, you guys see it all the time. All right, I'm gonna pull something out real quick and pause for those from New York. Okay, I'm gonna pull something out, right? So here is a QSJ radio pad, purple edition, which is a limited edition. It's brought to us by Shutterfly, so shout out to Shutterfly for this. And this is it's not for sale. And the way that I know that it's not for sale is that no matter where you look, there's no barcode. All right? So there's no barcode on this. There's no tracking where this goes, if it gets resold or anything like that. There's nothing there, right? But anyways, QSJ radio pads available. Only a few left. All right? But then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just pull something else out. Maybe like, I don't know. Like, something that's still in a wrapper. Or not even in a wrapper. Maybe this book. Not even his book. But anyways, you get what I'm saying, right? So you get this stuff, and the stuff got a barcode on it. Well, music has a barcode too. All right. So, if I can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot something right here, right? Shout to the window capture. Let me see if I could do this right. Okay, shout out to everybody listening and tuning to QSJRadio.com. Test manager still on? No, let me get a screen capture. Fuck a window capture. Let me get a screen capture or a display, right? Yeah, I like it when the homie does it. So let's see this, right? And that's not showing. Display capture, boom, boom, boom. Alright, it's not showing. I don't care. Anyways, so let me get a window capture then. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up something, and it might change my mic real quick, which I'm opening up Acoustica. Right? For those who use Acoustica, shout out to you guys, right? So I'm opening up Acoustica. Alright, Acoustica is open. It is asking me if I want to. I'm going to check my settings real quick, guys, so I'll make sure that you guys can still hear me. Alright, so here it is. I'm here at Acoustica. So I'm going to open an old file, right? Let's say that one right there. If you guys can see that, that's a really classic song right now for you guys called Colorful Names, right? So here I am. I'm opening up Colorful Names, the whole file, everything that's in there, right? So shout out to me because I'm showing you guys what I use for a program to record, right? And this is just a budget little thing. It's $70. You know, you get to do the same thing you do on Pro Tools, just a little bit cheaper. And if you got a good mic and good instrumentals, it's all good. Shout out to Rob Mosley, Camp 27 in the building. Fresh in the building. Mad love. Make sure you guys continue commenting and stuff like that. So here I am, right? So we're gonna listen to this song. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I don't think you can, but let's see let's see what happens here. Okay. Yeah, I know this song, right?
Hey, Strong. First things first, I win cause you won't react. That's all fact. Mad it's a life cause you don't want queens. Just let that bitch live out her dreams. Wasting bread up promoting average tracks. Tryna save yourself when these niggas say you act. Leave new school alone, you ain't bringing shit back. Couldn't be same lane on the same track. One of my mans is asking me why. Traffic, why wasting time at this guy? So I say, it's okay, I'm listening to his bars. Hoping that he makes it, hoping that he's a star. But listen, sometimes they don't listen to me. Everything I say, I get a feeling in me. Tryna go on, but they don't feel me. Tryna protect they songs, but they don't feel me. And it's okay, cause I know I'm kicking that game. Go on with our life, or we can go sing this song like Colorful Names. Colorful names, people like me, you would love to blame. Colorful names, colorful names.
You wanna play this game? I'ma act the same. I'ma look at artists like you the same. Colorful names. That's a hot song, man. Who did that track?
You think you untouchable? Think you better than those lovable? Lately labeled online as untrustable. One of the greatest, not trying to fuck with you. Straight business, I see. I don't trust you, dude. You ain't even close to cannibal, and I swear nothing about you is Hannibal.
Hands.
Let's talk about you being a man. Or how you blame the scissors on your fan. Growing up, still believing stand.
Listen.
So let me give you a hand. Reach out to those loyal fans instead of being loyal to your man. Sometimes they don't listen to me. Everything I say, I get a feeling in me. Tryna go on, but they don't feel me. Tryna protect they songs, but they don't feel me. And then, okay, that game. Go sing this song like colorful names. People like me.
Okay, so you see the whole thing there, right? So I got this song. I'm like, oh, that shit is fire, son. We about to render this, right? Because I don't know how to mix. So
Cause my life is all true.
So some people, they said, yo, raise the vocals, a little bit. They really don't know what the fuck they're saying, but we'll get into that in a few. But you know what I mean. And we're gonna play your songs, okay? So stick around. We're gonna play your songs. We just got controversy going on. This is track 6 right here. So track 6 is highlighted. Let me see what happens if I lower my highs, because I got a high ass voice, right? So
First things first, I win cause you won't react. Or cause my life is all true, that's all facts. Mad at your life cause you don't want queens. Just let that bitch live out her dreams. Wasting bread, I'm promoting average tracks. Tryna save yourself when these niggas say you act. Leave new school alone, you ain't bringing shit back. Couldn't be same lane on the same track. One of my mans is asking me why.
So, anyways, you see what I'm saying, right? So you're sitting there, you creating a song, and you're like, ooh, that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, ba-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Mixcraft. Okay. What about my chorus? My chorus is trash. I heard my chorus is trash. So let me see. We're gonna go to this chorus real quick, and I'm just picking out the editing, and I'm gonna keep him by himself, right? I'm gonna keep him by himself because I'm only worried about this chorus. Everybody like, your chorus is trash, right? Let me see this.
Colorful names, people like me, you love to blame. Colorful names. You wanna play this game, I'ma act the same. I'ma look at artists like you the same. Colorful names.
Oh man, I think when I was like listening to this, I think I wanted to throw some ad libs in there. I think at one time, let me see, and we're gonna get to the point of the RSC code here in a second, all right?
Colorful names, people like me, you love to blame. Colorful names, why they don't listen. Colorful names. You wanna play this game, I'ma act the same. I'ma look at artists like you the same. Colorful names. Listen. Colorful names.
Oh man, I don't know. So as you're an artist, right? And you hearing yourself, and you're like, damn, I harmonize really good. But then some people who like really sing and be like, nah, son, you're garbage, right? So you like gotta like, nah, but listen to the beat. Listen.
Colorful names, people like me, you love to blame. Colorful names, colorful names. You wanna play this game, I'ma act the same. I'ma look at artists like you the same. Colorful.
Anyways, right? So what I want to do is I want to mix this down to MP3. It's going to ask me, do you want to save your changes? I'm going to say no, because that's not real mix right there for me. So now it's going to ask me, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to call it, right? The first thing that you guys literally do, which actually pisses off most of the artists out here, most of the shows, and we're going to get to that, is the first identification that you have, towards your song, you already fuck it up. I'm gonna go and put this on the desktop. The identification that you should be trying to do is exactly the file name that you want anybody to find this song. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna put is I'm gonna put Trafficlight. I'm gonna put a dash, and then I'm gonna put colorful names. And I hope that you guys can see this, and if not, I'm explaining it as it goes, right? and I could hit save, and I've already identified the song how it is. If you guys don't see that, I apologize. Let me see if I could bring it up. I think that I don't think it shows because of certain things, but let me see. It's right there, so hold on, give me a second. God damn it. Let me see. Okay, here. All right. So here, this window popped up, right? And the first thing that is asking me to do is to put the name of the file, right? I'm gonna save it to my desktop. It's gonna be called Trafficlight Colorful Names. What's crazy is like I'm mad hype, mix is mad lovely to me. Fuck what everybody says. Fuck the haters. Throw the setup, right? Everything. Everybody does that shit. It's like stupid. All right. So this motherfucker Ryan Willis is telling me to edit my shit. I'm literally trying to get a point across. Shout out to everybody listening. But good looking at that. So we got the whole thing. Everything is going crazy, stuff like that, right? And then what happens is they got the name, the color, and some of y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all be like untitled, rough draft, unmastered. You know what I mean? Like you throw so many things in there to try to remind you where the song is, but let's just go with that. I just put Traffic Light Colorful Names, and hopefully you guys can see that, right? So anyways, this is what you guys forgot to do, all right? And other programs do things different, but it's usually right here at this window, right before you save, that you guys don't do the following. And this is what I talk about when I'm talking about post mastering. Okay, post-production stuff. I can hit the save button, and then the file is going to save, is going to do a whole bunch of things and stuff like that. But I really want to hit this right here. Tag info. Okay? I hope that came up. Nope, it didn't. I got to add another window popper. Okay? There's 3 window motherfucking things here. Okay? So now this window came up. This window right here, if you guys can't see, it says title, author, album, genre, year, copyright, and comments. Okay? Title, author, album, genre, year, copyright, and comments. The title of the song should be right there. The author of the song should be who wrote it. The album, wherever, if it's going to release, or if it's not, you leave it blank. Whatever genre of music it is, because no lie, if it doesn't have a genre, it's not going to show up. If your song does not have a genre of music, even if you put an album art on it, the album art won't show up because the streams need to find to have a genre. Because if your song ends up getting extremely reported, like, oh, it's been played 50 times at this station and that station, and you know, of course, the numbers add up a few months, then your name will associate with that community of the genre, okay? So, it's the year 2008 when I made this, the copyright 2008. In the comments, usually 2 things could go here. One, your website, where the song could get streamed if you even have that planned, but you don't have it planned because you just made this song. So there's no way that you're going to have a link to the song place in your thing if you haven't released the song yet. That comes later, and we'll get to that. The comments usually are anybody that added to this song. It doesn't matter if it's an engineer or anything like that, and some lyrics. And once you hit all that, you press OK, right? So I closed that. Of course, one of those damn windows didn't disappear. And now I'm going to save that, but I'm not really. I'm just going to give you guys an example. And now I got the song. It's good. And I'm ready to release this shit. Like, oh, we out, son. And then I'm like this. I'm like, nah, we not done. And you're like what? We not done yet? I'm ready to release this track. Traffic, like, you can't tell me this. And I'm like, but it's not done. This song is not done. This is the part where it's called metadata. And even though that you're trying to test the waters of this song, there's other things that you could put as something for the song, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. So, but I want this song to release right now. I just released it. Yo, Traffic, I need to release it. These DJs need to get it. These review shows, they need to get this song, right? Nah, son. If you don't shut the fuck up and listen to me, you're going to be really fucking up, all right? So here, I'm bringing up another program. This is called MP3 Tag, all right? Some other artists that usually are in the building, they usually like, they usually want, $5-10, you hook them up and they'll do it for you. So I'm kind of like stealing money from them right now. But on the real, I don't give a fuck. Because artists shouldn't be doing this shit for other artists. Artists need to do this shit for themselves. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight who's in the building. Let me see. This is an old directory. So we're in July now. I don't think I put anybody in there. Okay, so here's Drew Yates, right? Drew Yates, I'm highlighting his song right now. So I'm highlighting Drew Yates right now. And I've noticed that in his title, artist, album, year, track, genre, comments, it's all blank. So I'm going to have to take some of this stuff and put it in there. I'm going to paste that. This song right here called Backseat. I'm going to paste that. See, this is the stuff that you got to understand. All right, so I'm going to cut this, put it here. No, that's the name of the song. And this is Drew Yates. I'm going to type it. Like Traffic, I'm trying to release this single though. This shorty got to hear my song. Like, no, she doesn't. You need to do this post-production shit. So here I am. I got this Backseat. I got this Drew Yates. I got the album name, which I think is called Memorandum. So shout out to that. We're going to talk about that. The year this song was made was 2019. The track number of the CD, right? Oh, you can go to sleep if you want, bitch. I don't give a fuck. 9-9. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. And then, 1 or 2 or something like that, whatever the song title's name. You guys can hear me, right? Shout out to everybody listening, tuning in to QSJ Radio. If you guys can't hear me, I'll raise this motherfucking mic up. I think I'm playing. Sleep on your boy if you want. So, here I am, right? I'm putting all these songs on. I put the genre. So, I think this is rhythm and blues. Because, song's kind of flyer, right? And then what happens is I hit the save button. Boom. I hit the save. And it says it doesn't show up, but it says save tagged 1. Right? Yeah, I know me. Oh, Mike 40, man, I couldn't make it, man. Shout out to you. Congratulations on the baby shower and stuff like that, man. It's my G. Hope y'all got a lot of Pampers and stuff like that. I hope Shorty's doing alright too, for real. Because I'm like, I'm worried about it. You know what I mean? I know the history. So anyways, we're still at this little thing right here. The MP3 tag, right? We saved it. But guess what? You can put your album artist name on there. You can put your iTunes on there, your disclaimer, your disc number, if it's, if you're doing like a dual disc thing. And here is one of the big things. This is called the add cover. So you go to add cover, you go to downloads, you download whatever cover somebody did for you, not you did for yourself if you're not nice with it. And you throw in a picture or something like that. That's a picture of Drew Yates. So every time his song comes up, his little album cover shows up right there. Boom. Then you hit the save button. Boom. So now your whole song is good to go, right? No, it's not. You need an IRSC code. And we're going to talk about that and the website to go to for that. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home of the unsigned artist. So how do I get an international standard recording code? So you can go to isrc.org. Okay, hopefully I could bring this up. It's going to apply for a code, but usually are free. If you go online and you go to IRC code. So what happens now is that every time that your song is released, there is some kind of trace for it. No matter who the fuck got the magic, they cannot take that part away from that song. And then you attach that. All right? That's important. All right? But now I can release the song. This one right here, Drew Yates Backseat. YouTube available right now.
Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the shoulder, get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one more. I bet I get the job done. Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the shoulder, get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one more. I bet I get the job done. Pull it over to the shoulder, get fucked. Girl, get them legs up. I know that you like it when I'm rough. Plus, this ain't the kind of time to make love. We can wait to roll it when it's up. Cause you gon' get the scream in the shower. Like I done caught a body on the highway. No 10 in the broad day. Next up, Menage. Ain't even make it to the room, but we started on the couch. Made it come so many times, I done fucking lost count. Love it when she hop up on the top and then bounce. I'm diving in that pussy trying to drown, but I know how to swim. And really all I wanna do is win. You already knowing my intentions. Yeah, girl, I bet I can get the job done. You could even pick the position. Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the shoulder, get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one more. I bet I get the job done. Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the shoulder, get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one more. I bet I get the job done. Back seats with the windows up. Don't even matter, ain't no 10 on that. So you can get the picture when I smack that ass. And she can get the D. How about that? Fuck around and make slip. Really, I don't even hear paper. I don't play no games. Capiche? Sex game on a whole nother page from the hip. She can feel the beat. I tell her don't be afraid. This is 911. You can have it all. I promise you'll have fun. Say that you like it rough, but you always in the run. Oh, hun, and in the morning. No juice on my OJ. Holding you tight is my forte. Straight. Dicking you down, no foreplay. In the back seat with her. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, banging in the back seat. Pull it over to the...
Okay, big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. That was the homie Drew Yates Backseat. And just a reminder, Drew Yates will be in the building talking to us about his journey and his big busy summer that he got. That's going to be next Tuesday the 16th. I know some of y'all not going to be in here because some of y'all motherfuckers don't like hearing no interviews. So fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got to say about all that. Yeah. I'm the bad guy tonight. Just letting y'all know. I'm not fucking playing. A lot of these other shows, they talking about it, but, you know, they ain't really never... Some of them really never dealt with people. You know, they know people. They've got really close to them, but, you know, they've really... You know, they really stuck up. And I need y'all to understand that hip-hop is not based on that. The industry is not based on that. There are some things that happen within labels, especially when artists start slipping and then the next one up is working extremely hard and their album gets pushed up further and stuff like that. Things really do happen. So if you're not working hard, it's going to show. And the label's going to push you aside, and that's what people got problems with. So if that's the label part. Independently, you could be as lazy as you want, motherfucker. You could be as lazy as you want. Just do that. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home of the unsigned artist, man. Alright. So, I guess the next topic that I wanted to cover was services you should be investing in. Alright. I think I wrote a list of this stuff, too. I'm out here, like, working, and I'm like, well, what should I really do? You know, what should I really do? Services that you should really be investing in is, listen, you don't know how to mix, right? And it's okay. You don't have to know how to fucking mix. But there's mad people that do. Some people are local. Some people are very far. Some people don't want to fuck with you, all right? But you got to invest in mixing, all right? Mixing is not a DJ going from this song right here.
Banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the show to get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one. Or I bet I get the job done. Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the show to get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one. Or I bet I get the job done. Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the show to get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one. Or I bet I get the job done. Okay, she like to get the banging in the backseat. Pull it over to the show to get fucked. Or take her to the crib plus one. Or I bet I get the job done. Done.
Hola operator, hola señora, hola operator, hola señora, hola operator. I got a question, do me a favor. Can I do me or can you do better? Girl, if you got me, don't let up, I need to know.
Yeah. That's another form of mixing, right? And you see, I did that shit like really fast and stuff like that because you gotta know BPMs, you gotta know what the song's up, you gotta know what really will go with that song, what could come next. You know, you can see the crowd no longer is interested in listening to you, and I get it, but I don't give a fuck because I'm not a DJ, right? You know what I'm saying? Fuck a song too. Fuck a song. So when I'm sitting there and I'm like hearing everybody talk about mixing and stuff like that, and you know, there was only one dude this whole week, because everybody's out there just throwing their bits and pieces about this whole shit. There's only one dude that said it, and it's one that's unorthodox and one that we have grown to love, and that is Chris Neely. All right. So if you don't know who Chris Neely is, I'm just gonna keep it like that because y'all motherfuckers is fucking up. But Chris Neely, all right. So Chris Neely had said something which was, you know, let's see what's popping. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what's popping. And he presses play, and then he's like, you know what really go good with that? Some echoes. You know, you don't even have to clean the verse up. Just echoes. You know, throw some edits in there. You know? I mean, leave some of that breathing. You know, let the shit come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are really breaking down tracks in the most positive way ever. You know? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, because I could sit there and watch this motherfucker. If I gave him the whole track, that he would sit there and rearrange things and stuff like that. Now, some shows talk about that stuff, and some don't. They don't know how to liven a song, so they'll just tell you that you got bad energy. Okay. But we're going to get into that here in a second, all right? I'm not fucking playing. I'm the bad guy tonight. Shout out to everybody that's still in the building, knows that I'm still going to play their songs and stuff like that because that's what we do. You know what I mean? That's what we do. Before I keep going on to that, man, I'm just going to play another song right here. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home of the unsigned artist.
Hey, y'all know what it is. Black H2O, man. Doing what the fuck I do, man. Sitting here, you know, reflecting a little bit. Heard this fucking track and just Man, y'all know what it is. Black H2O, man. Doing what the fuck I am at now. Thinking about me sitting in that cell and shit. Saying to myself, man, if I ever touch down, what it is. Man, shout out to Obama, man. Shout out to my lawyer.
So before we get into that, right? The proper way to introduce this song right here, it would be exactly what everybody's doing right now, right? The proper way to introduce this song right now. I'm not talking about that IRSC. I literally gave half of the IRSC. I gave half of that shit. Now they need to go ahead and buy that shit. That's it. That's it. You keep telling me to call you. I don't fucking call nobody. Ask Drex. And that's my G. I don't call nobody. What the fuck you want to talk about? You know what I'm saying? I don't want no review shows calling about review shows. Because that's not what we calling out here for. Because remember, I'm not a review show. Just to let y'all know, this is real radio. I'm literally mad tired of people. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, when I heard from For the Gram, I literally do not understand where an unsigned artist from Connecticut has any fucking audacity to get at anybody that is probably part of the culture. And because they're not on commercial TV or anything like that, they do not believe in them. Some of those bars, I took offense to that shit. Even though I have no problem with that nigga. But I just don't get how an artist that is begging for somebody's show to play and to have network with can have the audacity to get at anybody that actually is putting them on, and because they're identifying if they're real or not. It's just ridiculous. Because I know some people that really work mad hard in Connecticut, try to get money, try to get videographers, try to get as much friendships as possible. But then I got niggas out there from that damn state that claim that the only way that you're gonna get love is to leave it, and that's not even true. That's not even true. So let's get back to this Blackwater real quick, because shout out to that. Shout out to every artist that pulls out their phone, opens their beat to another song or something like that, and then they start recording. Like, I'm recording right now. They start recording. Shout out to all those artists, because those freestyles are what goes viral right now. Okay? So shout out to those artists that are doing it. And not only that, saving the audio, because you never know when it's going to be used or ever get played internationally like it is right now. Shout out to Blackwater. That's exactly what I'm talking about right now. But you know what's going to happen? Those other motherfuckers get a hand of this damn song, and they're going to be like, bars is on point, blah, blah, you got to get your mixing right. No, bitch. He was doing this freestyle from the car. It has essence already.
Black H2O, man. Doing what the fuck I do, man. Sitting here, reflecting a little bit. Heard this fucking track and just started talking that shit. Thinking about my situation, what it was, you know what I'm saying? Thank God I'm where I'm at now. Thinking about me sitting in that cell and shit. Saying to myself, man, if I ever touch down, what it is. Man, shout out to Obama, man. Shout out to my lawyer. Everything that I learned. Number one is like that homie shit overrated. Sitting there just like telling myself, man, just if I can make it home. The street deserves this.
Always told myself, if I ever touch down, bitch, I'm headed to the top, and I ain't never coming down. Ain't fuck with me then, shit shit, don't fuck with me now. Black best in the city, line for line, pound for pound. A born king, nigga, fuck a throne, fuck a crown. Y'all here to run y'all mouth, bitch, I'm here to run the town. Been certified, nigga, think I'm lying, ask around. A front line, nigga, and I ain't never backing down. See, y'all talking about the then shit, I'm talking about the now. Really shit y'all ever heard since Obama let me out. Made a vow to myself, finally make my mama proud. In my first 50 bands, get Rocky Joe out. Ride my way through the South, flush these pussy niggas out. That love to run their mouth about that life that they ain't bout. Hand on my heart, 10 toes planted firmly in the ground. Pledge allegiance to my niggas who may never make it out.
I can't never forget these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Some of the realest niggas I ever met in that bitch, you know what I'm saying? And if I could, I'd replace them niggas with some of these clown ass niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I just stay out the way and do what the fuck I do, you hear me?
Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Shout out to Blackwater H2O.
Best in the city, line for line, pound for pound. A born king, nigga, fuck a throne, fuck a crown.
Nah, it's dope. It's dope. That shit's fire. That shit is fire. That shit is heat. That's fire. That's heat. That's everything. And people don't understand that shit because what they're doing on these other platforms is judging what they want, what they expecting. This motherfucker done put out his fucking IRC code for one of his songs. Shout out to everybody listening, man. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, homie, on Sound Artists. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his story, too, for real. Okay. Fuck out of here. That shit was heat. Alright, so we're going to talk about the services you should be investing in. First of all is mixing. You know, I heard this right now and stuff like that, and there's nothing more authentic right now than somebody going live and talking in their car. That is 95% of everybody's live. They're in some kind of traveling vehicle, and they're talking about it because they want people to get excited with them about the places they're about to be, about the places they have just came from. You know, that is what it is. You cannot tell me anything less than that. So I really want to commend whoever put that together for him, even if it was him himself, that shit is the authentic thing to do right now here. And I can't tell you how authentic that shit was for me, music lover and a reality kind of person. Okay, if they want me to sit here and start doing reviews, I can do that, but I'm not going to. I just want to give a shout out to that. And the reason I say that, because in the beginning they're like, oh, the mixing traffic. I'm like, no, you have to understand the difference of that being part of a song and an audio part of a video that you cannot mix. You have to keep it as authentic as possible. You know, you have to, because you can't replay those. You can't replace those vocals. You cannot edit those shits. You have to understand what was going on in that mix versus, you know what I mean? You have to understand that. Shout out to Blackwater, man. So, other services that artists need to invest themselves in is engineers, right? I mean, you can do the whole engineer thing, you know? Well, engineer and mixing is kind of two different things, right? So engineer, or somebody who is actually recording your vocals. Now they can do both, right? The mixing guy can do both, but you actually can get somebody who never recorded you to mix your shit. The engineer is going to be the one to be like, you need to do that shit again. All right? You need to go back in the booth, go back in there, do that shit again. Nah, I like it like that. Nah, son, get the fuck back in there. Get the fuck back in there, right? Like, shut the door and don't come out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. So anyways, invest yourself in that. Invest yourself in somebody to do your artwork for you. Invest in $20 to give somebody the right to take your pictures. And we're talking about $20, okay? If you want somebody to come out there and they got a big-ass camera and they use the auto on that camera, you're better off doing that shit yourself. Take a tripod, and set it up. Make sure the lighting is good and then be like, bang. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be alright. For real. Some people about that money. Yes, alright. So Nico Solo Dolo. Some people are exactly about that money. They want the money and leave, okay? And usually those are the cats that don't believe in nothing that you doing or saying. Alright? Those are the people you cannot fuck with. You got to make people want to release songs that are hits. You have to not get comfortable with the first engineer that you fuck with. You have to venture off. You have to meet new people. And once you do, you'll figure out that you're sounding different or better. And then you'll know the settings and you want to save those and you want your voice to sound like that in every song. And you'll save those settings for any other producer or engineer because you found your sound through somebody else's. And of course they'll get their credentials for that. You must do that at all times. So shout out to that. And it is true, people are just about their money. They just come through and be like, yo, like, all right, you got a song, we got 2 hours, I gotta go, so I hope you did your practice. Go in there real quick, if you need to do a little bit of write-offs and things like that. Bathrooms right around the corner. We got water if you need water. But just to let you know that water, fucks your voice up if it's not in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening and tuning in QSJ Radio. So, that's the engineer. Invest in a photographer. Invest in a designer. Invest in a designer that can actually do an album art for you, or even somebody to do a regular logo. Like, you got a lot of artists in the building, and some of them don't even have logos, bro. Like, get a logo. Shout out to Panama in the building. Okay, they in the building. We got no shares? That's crazy. Oh, we got some shares. Shout out to the 100 shares. Shout out to everybody who's still in the building, because usually it'd be empty in this motherfucker because nobody wants to talk about that real shit. Anyways, let me switch this cam. So what else? What else should artists invest in? Promotion and marketing is definitely something, and it's very different. Okay, promotion is something like, you're going out there, you're putting yourself on the radio, on these online radios, and all that stuff, blah, blah. You don't have you don't have a share button. That's because you unfollowed a nigga. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? No? You don't know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. You guys still see me and hear me? I got a frozen thing. Shout out to all the love, man, that you guys been sharing to QSJ Radio. But there's a little bit of a reason why I'm that nigga. Okay? There's a reason why when people talk shit about me, I just laugh.
Hustle. Collaborate.
Yeah, I don't think we want to play that dude ever again. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I feel like taking him off everything that we ever did. Visuals. Well, shout out to the shares that are popping from Connecticut. Let us know where you guys are hearing and watching us from. In visuals, right? I'm not gonna lie. For the last month, everybody has been asking this one Connecticut rapper to invest in visuals, okay? And we're talking about the $1,000 to $2,000 videos. All right. I myself have had these personal conversations with some of your favorite underground artists. No lie. You can ask them. All right. And the visuals mean something. All right. It doesn't have to be nighttime shit in the dark. It doesn't have to be all that. But somewhere in your city, your town, or somewhere in 50 miles, somebody is popping with the videos. Yeah, I'm praying for y'all for real, because it starts hitting y'all, it's gonna hit us too. So I know that y'all got some surges already. So shout out to Louisiana. Make it up fresh. Freshness fresh in the building. So, visuals. Why visuals? Shout out to the vocal trainers. That's something else. Ryan Willis. Okay, so I used to manage an R&B singer or pop artist, and she didn't want vocal training. She thought that she was good money. Me, I was like, nah, son. Just a little bit pitchy. We got to get somebody to get you to hit the diaphragms up, because we know that you want to sing. And I went ahead and contacted one of my Broadway friends, and she had a few minutes, and and it was like $50 that she could make real quick to tell her, you know, you got to sing, and it has to come from everywhere, right? And you know, take some breathing techniques and all that stuff. It was kind of cool with that whole management thing that I was doing at that time. The artist didn't want all that. Now that shit came out of my pocket. It really pissed me off. So it's really fucked up when an artist has the opportunity to do all that, and they still like shrug it off. Basically, you're spoiling them. Shout out to CT in the building. They're always heavy. CT was kind of like one of my biggest grinds ever. Visuals is something really big. I really need you guys to understand that. Visuals. I'm going to tell you something right now. I introduced my music, which some of you guys don't know, to my children. And the reason I do that is because when I'm hearing a song and it's catchy and something like that, you know, the youth is going to catch up and they're going to do a dance real quick, and your song goes viral, bang, because they did a whole bunch of wiggles. And then, you know, stupid shit like that could just happen, because it does. And it's been happening for the last 20 years in music. Somebody does a video, they're dancing to your song, it's a hit record. It's been happening for 20 years. It's not something that just happened yesterday, or this just that, blah, blah, you know. What was that one song that they did, the mannequin challenge? That song wasn't even that fire. You know what I'm saying? It was just a mannequin challenge, but everybody knew that they had to do it to that song. And since it was repetitive, boom, that song became a hit. It got his numbers up enough to hit the Billboard charts, but the song wasn't even that fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just happens. But anyways, visuals is something crazy. Vocals, what else? I'm not seeing too many comments in here, so I guess nobody gives a fuck. But just invest in promotion. And marketing is two different things. Promoting to getting yourself on the radio, you got somebody to do that for you, or yourself sharing the link, actually putting your link available for download and streaming is a form of promotion. The marketing part is basically like, yo, you got mad followers, how can I hit you off if you do a fitness video with me in the background? What up? What do I got to do? And they hit you up and be like, you know, I got 6 million followers, right? So what I'm going to do for you, my G, because you on the budget, it has to be 30 seconds. I'm going to pick the part of the song. I'm going to make sure you get tagged and all that stuff. Link in my bio, maybe for a day or two. That's all I could do for you. For 100. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, oh, shit. $100? You want me to give you $100 to put your influencer ass doing a fitness video with my song in the back? Fuck your $100. No, really? Really, bro? $100? You have the potential of hitting 6 million people and their followers, and you don't know who retweets this motherfucker and why he got so many friends. And that shit can go from 6 million to 12. And that link is going on their bio now because they filling that song in the background. And then they want to use that shit on one of their shits. And then all of a sudden that $100 becomes $3,000 in a flight in a hotel room to a city you ain't never been to a crowd you ain't never fucking seen. Because you invested $100. $100 on the new kind of marketing. On the new kind. And then, oh, that's a lot of promo. That's not a promo. It's different. Promo is landing placement on radio, and you got placement, and then that's it, and you're doing good on radio. Literally, that is something. That is literally something. You're doing good on radio. Because guess what happens? People call radio stations and say, get that fucking song off the air. And if more than a certain percentage of their fan base calls for that song, it's not going to stay on rotation. Your promo for that is gone. Marketing is mad different. So you telling me, so I'm going to hand off $100 to somebody that's going to give you 10,000 views. You might not get the comments. You might not get the likes. You're going to get the views. How do I know they're real? Because you will know. Because you will have followers. You will have people inboxing you. You will have things that will show, and people who are real liking your shit and becoming fans, not friends. Not people they want to do collaborations with. That is extremely fucking different, because what they're trying to do is market and promote at the same time with you. But y'all don't get that. Y'all think it's all talent and shit. Oh, I'm going to do mad music with this nigga. No. Somebody made the decision and said, I need that nigga's fan base. And to find out that he or she don't even have one. They coincidentally have a hit song right now. Big shout out to everybody listening. Big shout out to Candy Salad Circle. She's in the building. She's like, merchandise. Merchandise is the biggest way. Create a logo. I mentioned that earlier. Create a logo. Invest in a clothing line or ties together with your music. Okay, that ties together with music. And it's true. Shout out to all the artists out there that try to do this, and it's all good. I know people that just, put the album art on a shirt, right? Because that's the single they're promoting right now, right? They put the album art right there. Boom. Right there on your titties. And then they'll start selling that shit. And people will start merching, you know, crazy stuff like. I'm not even gonna lie. I could go right here, and I could pull out about 4 to 5 things that somebody gave me. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna do it right now. So, shout out to my crew all the way in Michigan, Black Money Entertainment. They gave me a little small ass bag, which I thought was extra sexy. Okay, shout out to the. You know what I mean? This is what happened. This is not people mailing shit to me. This is when I'm on the grind. For those who think I'm just stuck in my grandparents' room or something, they gave me a gym towel, little whatever, right? This came with popcorn too, so you know I had the munchies that day. Let's not tell too many stories, okay? Here in VA, shout out to the Beavers. They came out here, Beaver Entertainment. They gave me a towel. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the towel. They know I go to the gym a lot, but I saw them in VA. They have their own podcast out here, Beavers Entertainment. Have a lot of celebs in the building. So if you're ever in VA and you'll stop by here, make sure you stop by at Beavers so that way you get their audience too, because the promotion is to grow, right? Who else is in the building? My man's from Loud America. Loud America is actually a weed company. You know what I'm saying? They do the whole, edibles and all this other crazy stuff. I have not tried their stuff. I actually cannot try their shit at all. So I'm not into that stuff. But I took the damn thing, you know, where to fit it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Boys for Life. They know about Black Money Entertainment because I brought them to their show. I brought a whole crew to things because, you know, we do stuff for real. So shout out to Loud America for that one. They're based out of VA. My boy Electra, he was on the show twice. He got parachute luggage. He's actually out of South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I don't look good in hats. That's why I don't wear hats. You know what I'm saying? Not really, but, you know, these hats, like, these golfer hats be killing me. I got a purple one coming because, you know, I like that purple. You know what I'm saying? You can give these away or you can charge people. And usually, if you sell, that means they will buy your other stuff, like your music, your downloads, stuff like that. They will do that. And it has to be popping. It can't be something that your shorty drew for you and you put it on a tee like that means so much to me. Nah, son. It has to be popping. This says Loud America. Okay? It says Loud America. I'm going to bring this closer to the camera. Hopefully the camera could read that. But it's literally a flag with the little thing there. You know what I'm saying? Loud America. Beavers, you saw that. Parachute luggage. It actually is a parachute with some luggage on it. You know what I mean? Don't go off brand and be like, yeah, shout out to QSJ Radio. And then a big ass unicorn comes out of your damn chest. Fuck out of here. I'll fix that later. But anyways, that's something that artists should be investing themselves in. That's just it. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there that's doing a whole bunch of stuff and getting their stuff right. And there's a difference between merch, and a clothing line. That's where I want y'all to really understand. There's a difference between merch and a clothing line. A clothing line is a whole fucking brand. Like, it has your tag in the back. It doesn't have Hanes or some other shit. It has your tag in the back. Merchandise is giveaway stuff. You know? I got mad merch here all over the place. They don't have clothing lines. I mean, Loud America, maybe. I don't, because that was official tissue stuff right there, but it's a very big difference. Artists needed to go ahead and do that. Another thing that artists should invest in is time in their community. How you doing, Vic? How you doing? Glad to know that you're okay. That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine a unicorn coming out my damn chest? Bang. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Let me get to these emails. Let me take a break real quick. Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Home of the unsigned artists. Shout out to the homie Flacco. This one right here is called Nothing New on QSJRadio.com.
Yeah. This ain't nothing new. All I want is you. Can we make it through? Well, let's lay down some rules, girl. What you wanna do? We should make a move. If you wanna take it slow, that's what we would do. I know I made mistakes, girl, but tell me who doesn't. But if you ain't here and my heart wants you, then I got nothing. I know I did some childish things and I'm not proud of it. But I took my mess and I cleaned it up, turned nothing to something. I done shed so many tears cause I just want you back. All the time we spend together shouldn't fade like that. We got so many memories, us is where I wanna be. I just don't wanna waste no time, so take the step with me. I just want you back. Times will get hard without you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This ain't nothing new. All I want is you. Can we make it through? Well, let's lay down some rules, girl. What you wanna do? We should make a move. If you wanna take it slow, that's what we would do. Communication is key. Breath and lesson, no time for us. And girl, that's all on me. I should've seen a bigger picture, but my ego was way big for me to see. All the things you wanted me to be, but I bumped my head and I know it's right. And baby girl, and that's you and me. It's no rocket signs, I won't keep it silent. My love for you, yeah, it's true. No time to hide, I put my pride aside and I'm always here for you. Late nights and when the time is right, phone conversations could be chill. Grab my hand and let's take a stand and let me show you what's really real. I just want you back. Oh yes, I do. Times will get hard without you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This ain't nothing, no. All I want is you. Can we make it through? Well, let's lay down some rules, girl. What you wanna do? We should make a move. If you wanna take it slow, that's what we would do. That's what you wanna do. We ain't gotta play no games. Oh, yeah. We ain't gotta rush, baby. Yeah. It's just me and you. Just me and you. So what you wanna do? What you wanna do? This ain't nothing new. All I want is you. Can we make it through? But let's lay down some rules, girl. What you wanna do? We should make a move. If you wanna take it slow, that's what we would do. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. Na, 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 yeah.
Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home of the unsigned artists. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in the folder. I'm gonna make sure that that goes into the folder. We'll have more information on what comes with that. You know, we QSJ Radio. So, you know, some other shit comes with us. Shout out to that. Now, I want to give a shout out to my affiliated little radio guys. Okay, if you guys didn't know, QSJ represent the Mad Love Mix. Your host, Trafficlight. Submit them now at QSJRadio.com or go to QSJRadio@gmail.com. In association with the Dorky Review Show and Mix It One Radio and other people, but I don't really think they show me the same amount of love, so they don't get a lot of shout outs. You know what I'm saying? So shout to that. Shout to me. Shout to me. Yo, I want to give myself a shout out. Can I do that? Can I do that? Yeah, I can. So earlier today, we talked about the IRSC codes that will help you track your song wherever it gets played. It will help your copyrights. It will help where your purchases are and all this other stuff. Because what's really crazy, and believe it or not, like when TuneCore first started, IRSC codes weren't like really available to artists like that, especially independent artists. And like a whole bunch of my friends and my artists at the time, they would download, they would show screenshots, they would show so much, and then we'll get our records of downloads or whatever, and it only show like 4 people. But what's crazy is that they'll have like 16 to 1,800 people hitting us up about that we downloaded this and stuff like that. Well, the IRSC code wasn't there, and those downloads basically got cheated because there was no track record of where that song went. So you guys got to understand what I'm saying, because I could be downloading your stuff. Other supporters could be downloading your stuff, and you don't get nothing back but like 30 cents, and you're wondering, damn, nobody shows me love. But in reality, they really downloaded or streamed your stuff. So make sure you got that RSC code. We talked about things that artists should invest in. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but I pulled out a wire, so we're going to get into these phone calls here in a second. And we're only going to do phone calls today. We're not going to do video chats because something's going on with this little computer of mine, and I don't want you guys to get disconnected. Well, anyways, so crazy things that artists should be investing themselves in. Most of what everybody really said was things to make fans remember you. All right. People were talking about merchandise, little small things. I don't know if you guys know, but we got ourselves little QSJ Radio. What the fuck are these called? Coasters. We got QSJ Radio coasters. So if you guys want a coaster, let me know. I usually put my other bottle on there, but sounds good. Keeps the table from getting those marks. So QSJ coasters, holla at me. So merchandise is always something, promotional stuff, like little things to like remember you by. We talked about marketing and promoting very different things. Going out there, investing yourself in $100 to somebody to just use your song in their background. Now, I'm not saying hand somebody $100. Usually some people who are fans of you will probably do that shit for free. So, that's a form of marketing too. But influencers really have this on smash, and it could really work out for you if you guys do it with the time. Right there. And invest in the beats. I'm tired of hearing the beat tagged every 5 seconds. True story. A lot of people even people who like, damn, this beat is fire. I gotta hit it now and I gotta send it now. That tag is not if it's not the first or the last chorus or the chords of the song, and it's literally tagged through the whole thing, you literally are probably going to be looked at as too broke or cheap or too lazy to find a way to invest in beats and invest in them. It's annoying. It's literally annoying. I'll send you a coaster soon and some buttons and a t-shirt. Big shout out to V. Thanks for that. My wife said hi, by the way. She did. On the wifey type. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is Victoria? Shout out to everybody listening, man. But anyways, now we're going to go ahead and get into this big topic. This big topic is, the things that are going down, the toxin. And I'm going to open the phone lines right now. So if you guys want to call in, let me know. And we're only using my phone, so I need you guys to. I'm gonna put the call in number. I'm gonna put it in the tag. Everybody gonna fucking save my number. Save my number. Call me in the middle of the night. Shit like that. Don't do that. And we're going to talk about the whole review show thing going on. I see a review show going on right now. Some people tag money. Blah, blah. But what I really want to do first is I want to tell you guys who you should be fucking with and who you shouldn't be fucking with. Alright? Now, name dropping is probably not going to happen unless I say who you should be fucking with. But for those who you shouldn't be fucking with, you really need to pay attention. It's very, very simple. I was paying attention to Holly. That's LP for some people who don't know. Eargasm podcast. Okay. If a review show cannot bring you from the link to the stage, you shouldn't be fucking with them. Alright? And from what I mean is, you sending them a link, an MP3 file or something like that, if they cannot progress you any further, even to the smallest thing of setting up a show for you, because that is the smallest thing. You guys act like going on tour is impossible. It's literally not. And if they can't do that for you, then you can't fuck with them. I don't care. I don't want to hear about we're doing collaborations now because of them, or I got more fans because of them. Nah, son, fuck all that. You need to go from the link to the stage, and any kind of progress before the stage or something has to happen other than people telling you about your song. If you want to drop names, you dropping names. I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? I got disclaimers all day, son. Check this out.
All songs provided today have been asked for permission to play live on our stream via web. Live stream. Any content cannot be used without written consent from QSJ Radio.
All right. So when you call in, I'm not keeping you on the air more than fucking 3 minutes. So don't come in here trying to wild out. Some people like to do that. So this is the call-in number right now. I'm going to pin it only on the Facebook Lives. For those who are watching on YouTube and stuff like that, I can't be having y'all call in, man. Y'all crazy.
Also,
big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening.
We are home to the unsigned artist. If you have other expectations, look elsewhere. We are at war all the time. Our weapon is mad law.
So I'm going to wait on anybody to call. Make sure you guys are letting me know who the hell you are and stuff like that. And then we'll talk about what are we talking about. I'm gonna add a text to this screen real quick. It's gonna say on the phone. And it'll say a name whenever I found out who's on the phone with me. Well, ain't nobody fucking calling. This nigga said I'll go last. Alright. Shout out to everybody listening in. Where my scaredy cats at? Where my scaredy cats? This is the first time in a long time that I'm letting my phone number out there. Okay, we got South Orange in the building. Yo, who this? What up, Candy Solid Circle? Welcome to QSJ Radio. How you doing? Can you hear me? Okay. Alright, we got mad people calling in now. Hold on. Let me decline these motherfuckers. Alright. Let me see. Can you guys hear Candy? Candy, go ahead and talk again. I know I could hear you. Go ahead, talk again. I know they can hear you. There's no way they can. Anyways, big shout out to everybody listening. It is working. Let me see if somebody call in. Ryan, I just got the voicemail. You got declined, bitch. Oh, you can't hear her. Okay, hold on a second. There's ways around this. Motherfucker, I'm declining you. Bye. Candy.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can hear you now. Big shout out to everybody listening. Candy Solid Circle. You can find her on that IG. Candy_Solid Circle. Candace, what up?
Man, whatever. You and that Candace, what's going on? Shout out to QSJ Radio. Day Hernandez, what up?
I'm good, man. So we've been talking about these review shows here for a second, and I know that you guys are one of them. Been consistent about it. So I want to throw that word out there for people because we show love to y'all show love back. It's all good, and y'all know that we not a review show. First thing I want to know is why a review show? Why'd you guys go ahead and start that up?
Say that last part again.
Why'd you guys go ahead and start that up?
We started it off because we both have a love of music. We both have a passion. And as far as, DJ 525, he's an active DJ. And for me, I'm always around DJs. I've been doing, with unsigned artists for about 6 years. I started out with just doing open mic. And then all of a sudden I was just like watching everything. And I'm like, you know what? They need guidance. They need a place to go. They need somebody that's actually going to take the time to listen to them, And we wanted to start something where we can actually help them grow to a point where you see the ones who are really serious about their craft, right? So we take those artists who are willing to travel to come out to perform, during, live events. And then afterwards, I speak to them about things that they could do better, things that, would help them grow on the stage and stuff like that. So it's just a thing we love to do. And our goal is to just really help them and guide them to where they need to go.
Okay, so that's awesome. It's straight up honest. And I know that you work behind the scenes with a lot of artists, especially after they come through on the show. Some go for the money, some don't. And I don't mean that actually for money. I mean that they go for the goal, and some don't, and it's that's how it usually is anyway. You got some people who just do it for the buzz real quick and then they disappear, or they don't even follow through on some of the things. being that you, I think you was like a teacher once, right? And then you decided to drop that to help out unsigned artists. You realizing that you couldn't juggle both lives. Is this correct?
Correct. I was a preschool teacher for over 10 years. I went to school for it, you know what I mean? And, you know, I love teaching. But it got to a point where teaching and working with artists and stuff, it's just way too much, because the job that I do with the radio and behind the scenes with working with artists, that's a full-time job. Like, that's full-time, and I don't even get paid for it. You know, but it's my passion.
Yeah.
It's my passion to help.
And it's all good. I think me and you, we finally met each other about a few weeks ago. So if you guys didn't know, there's only one picture out there. so
That's right.
And that's literally probably all we needed. But anyways, the crazy thing is like, I think I told you face to face, and for those who don't really know, like, radio really doesn't make a lot of money. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of format that we have, unless we have those big sponsorships that come out of nowhere, like somebody's gonna pay for the streaming, or somebody's gonna pay for the equipment or something like that. Really, radio doesn't make a lot of money, and that's why big commercial radio stations, they have extra amount of money, because everybody invests their promotion or marketing on that format. So it doesn't matter if it's a review show, because Mixer 101 is 525s. It was something that was like dead that he brought back alive, and you brought it back alive with him, right?
Right.
So, you know, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Correct. You know, we just decided to, you know, I started in the beginning, and then we just kind of said, you know what, let's really do this. Let's have a game plan. Like, when we do the show, it's like we already have a game plan. We're not just up there playing your music and then, all right, you know what, it's 6 o'clock, time for us to go home. No, we literally meet afterwards. We come up with a game plan to figure out what is the next move. All right, well, you know what, this artist right here, what can we do with this artist? But we only, honestly, real talk, we only really do a lot for the ones that show us that they're serious about their craft. For the ones that just pop in and out, that are not serious, or, you know, don't say or don't do what we ask them to do. Basically, like, bro, if you don't have mixing and you need to fix it, and they choose not to fix it, then I can't help you. You know, I can't.
And it was, you know, what's crazy is that I know that this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know that there's no extra money involved in this. You're literally doing this because you believe in that artist.
Correct. And there's actually times where I've paid DJs. The artists don't know about this. I've actually paid certain DJs just to have certain artist tracks spin in the club. And they don't even know that, because I don't speak on that until today. So a lot of times some DJs will be like, nah, I really don't feel like playing. I'll be like, yo, here's $20. Can you play it? And they do it. So I've actually invested money behind the club scenes just to have artists come out either to perform or to have their tracks played, because I believe in them. And that's real talk.
And that's real, and I believe, because I've done that a few times myself for a whole bunch of artists, and some of them know who they are, and some of them, you know, we just try to keep it on the hush, because it's an image for us too. We're trying to make sure that they get exactly what they expected from us. And shout out to that. Now, you know what's really crazy is, like, what else do you believe that the review shows have? What have you seen in these review shows that you kind of like are really not liking?
There's some shows that I scope out and I don't say nothing. I just pretty much see what's going on. But it's the ones that are not professional. Like, they're sitting up there, they're in their boxers, in the shorts, smoking a blunt, where it's like they're charging these artists $5 to $10 to skip a line. But for what? Like, you have no access or no idea. You're all of a sudden you're an A&R, and you're selling these artists a dream that you know you cannot give them. And that's what bothers me, because there's artists that are actually paying to skip the line for some shows, not all, when they know that this is it. Like, there's no aftermath to this after this show. Like, they can't do anything with your music whatsoever.
You know what's really crazy is that I wanted to bring that up because there are some pros and cons to review shows like that, but there are more cons. And I say it, and I think I said it earlier. If you cannot bring an artist from a link to the stage, then you should not be fucking with them. And the reason I say that is because if you have a song or have potential and people are out there trying to network with you, you finally went from the closet to the studio or even to a better closet because some closets are popping. If you haven't really taken that time to do any of that, I can't fuck with you. Like, cause I'm going to expect that kind of music from you, and I can't do that to my shows, my listeners, my viewers, and stuff like that. And it's crazy because I've seen sometimes when people ask to skip and they throw 3 tracks that you're like, I can't believe I gotta play these guys 3 tracks because these shits is trash. Like, and they, but anyway, so one of the biggest things that I've noticed on these things is everybody keeps bringing up R&R or roast and review. Okay. I don't know if you've seen that show or came across that show.
What's it called?
Roast and Review.
Yeah, I've tuned in. I think maybe like twice.
Okay, so this is what I want for people that are listening in, and of course, Mix 101, they're in the building. Roast and Review is at a different level than any single one of us. And I've been in this for a long time. Roast and Review has been around for 11 months. I want people to understand that. Only 11 months. And they have the backing of Shaquille O'Neal. Their producer is DJ Who Kid from G Unit. Okay. They have a whole studio dedicated to that. Some people could just press stream and they're good, and some people are actually in the background making a few changes. And I want people to understand that they have I want to say authentic, but I don't, because I know everybody who I fuck with is authentic. But I want to say that they have a job to do versus something like we're trying to put you on another level in your music. They have a job to do. And I think that some of the artists that we I don't know if you're a fan of Drex. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Drex.
So shout out to Drex. But Drex hit me up. He said, hey, we kind of don't fuck with underground artists like that, right? And that's their job. Their job is not to make the newest guy come up out of nowhere and come through on their show, because they have a bigger calling, because they have a job to do. So I want people to understand this. So when they're in there and they're like bashing the shit out of your track, it's part of their job. It's not something that they really have control of. And that's what I want to do. I want to let that out there, because that's one of these things that people are not understanding. Another thing is, one thing I want to give a shout out to Mix 101 is that you guys have been extremely consistent, and especially after that break you guys had. It's been an incredible consistency. People are filling in for each other. More guests are coming on the show, and I know of you as a visionary, because it seems like you you almost like have full throttle of that. But I know it's a team effort. That the consistency is a must if they're going to be part of this community. Is that something that you believe?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're not consistent, how do I expect people to take us seriously if I'm not even serious about, doing what I'm doing? So we have to stay consistent.
Big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening in. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Home of the Unsigned Artists on the air right now, discussing the review show. I believe is a toxin. They got people out there with their cell phones, and I don't want to knock those people, because some of them, they can't get all the extra shit. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, if you're an artist, you're reviewing other artists. Like, come on, bro. Like, what?
My thing is, it's being professional. You could do it from your house. You could do it from the bathroom. It doesn't matter, but you have to stay professional. You know, smoking weed up there, you know, not dressed properly, crazy ass background. Like, you want to make it in a way where people feel comfortable, you know, feel like they should respect you. Because there's a lot of lies out there that artists be like going off on these hosts or whatever, but look how the hosts present themselves. You know, your image is really important. So I believe that, like, when it comes to stuff like that, just be professional about it. If you want people to respect you and take you seriously, you have to, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, when there's some shows right now that I'm not even understanding. Like, stop. Where one big thing that I really did find out, Little Vec, I've been playing his song for a little bit. I think you played him one time. He kind of actually told me he didn't like your show, right? And I told him, I was like, why? And one of the things was that basically y'all said something bad about his music. Now, let me tell you, I have been finding out lately that certain artists don't fuck with certain places once they find out that they're not filling their songs. How do you take that criticism, and do some people come back?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we as people are the ones that are going to support these artists, right? So if you're not going to tune in and watch the show because we didn't like your track, then to me, I'm sorry, but that's kind of petty. You know, like, not everybody is going to like your track. Everybody has their own opinion. You know what I mean? But wouldn't you want to hear what the world has to say about your music? I mean, honestly, you got to have tough shells. So if you're going to be upset about this type of stuff, then you're not going to be ready for the big business then, because there's going to be tons of people out there that's going to be telling you about your music. So what are you going to do? Quit? Oh, no, I'm not going to do this no more, or I'm not going to mess with this record label no more. Why? No. It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, some artists have been growing up, and I think it's the 90s babies that say this. If I ain't got no haters in my life, I ain't doing shit right, whatever. There's a difference, though. You know, there's a difference when somebody is at literally critiquing your song and you put yourself on Front Street versus somebody who's going to play your song. You know, it's just very, very different. And I think artists need to understand that before they come on here, because I got somebody in here about to try to blast every fucking body. Don't come on here hating on shows that said your shit was trash. Okay? You cannot do that, because you put yourself on Front Street because you wanted to, you know, hear somebody say that. Now, I want to give a shout out to the A, B, C, D, or Flush It. Okay. I've been watching your guys' shows since Sam's been on there, and that's a long time. That's a long time ago. And I'm not sure what happened there, but it's all good. You know, I wasn't flirting with Sam. For those who think I'm a big ass flirt, I wasn't. But having a host it seems to be easier for you or harder for you? What do you think, like a co-host?
Well, you have to have the same goals. So, you know, me and 525 were even because we have the same passion and same goals. As for Sam, she's a great person. Like, I love Sam even to this day. I still talk to her. She just didn't have the same passion. Like, she didn't, it wasn't like her main thing. You know, she didn't get up in the morning and think about music. You know, she didn't, you know, on her way to work, pop in an artist. Like, it wasn't her thing, you know? So she'd rather just kind of stay, you know, take a step back and kind of, you know, go to her 9 to 5, which is fine. You know, this is not for everybody because it's a lot of work. But I don't mind it. It's just a lot of people just don't have the same, the same interest, same passion for it. You don't have to be on the same level.
And then the work ethic is also something crazy. You are a regular, I would say, an employee at Dulce Lounge, which is one of the biggest clubs out there in Jersey, and this is normal even in that situation because you're dealing with people all the time. You're constantly, fucking dealing with drunks. And that's dumb hard. At the same time,
Absolutely.
You have extreme access to celebrities who are constantly in and out of those clubs, even on a fucking Tuesday. And then I have, correct me if I'm wrong, I have literally seen you utilize that to the advantage for the unsigned artists.
Absolutely. I always try, that's my goal, honestly. I try to pick a night where we have a Hot 97 DJ, a Power 105 DJ, a celebrity come in. Even if the celebrity is not performing, just come in to host. I try to pick an artist to do something that day because it only takes a second. And the day that I had my birthday party, I had DJ Drewski host the event. And I had King Plug, which is an upcoming artist from New Jersey. He performed right in front of Drewski. You know what I mean? And I try to pick nights like that. Not saying that Drewski's gonna call him and hit him up, but it's beneficial. It's definitely beneficial because next time he runs into King Plug, he'll be like, "Oh, you're the guy that performed at Dolce Lounge." He'll remember.
Yeah. And that's another form of consistency, but something that the artist has to have, where they're showing up to the party. And if you show up to the party, somebody's gonna recognize you because you're always around.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to Candy, Solid Circle, Mix 101 host. What time is your shows?
We do Tuesday 7 to 9, Wednesday 4 to 6, Thursday 4 to 6, and that's Eastern time.
Big shout out to that. Make sure you guys follow them, Mix 101 Radio on Facebook. You guys are going to start streaming from all over the place soon. I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely. Because Facebook, we all know how Facebook is. You still receive remixes and cover songs, and for us, we're not authorized to play them because we don't even get flagged. We just get kicked off. So we started out one show on YouTube, and it was better because the sound quality is much better, and you don't get kicked off, so it doesn't ruin the show. It's just more, I feel like YouTube is more professional than it is on Facebook. That's just my opinion.
I think that it's more convenient.
Well, it's convenient, and I think it's beneficial, too.
So big
I
shout
think it reaches wider.
And it does.
Yeah.
It does. It's out there. Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Now there is something. This is part of the name dropping, but on the good side, what are the shows that you think that you probably follow that people should follow and should submit to?
Well, definitely QSJ Radio, and I'm not saying that because I'm on the phone with you. I'm speaking real talk. I learn a lot from your show based on, what you say. And today, when I was watching your thing about the computer, about things, how they have to fill out stuff, I definitely fucks with your show. It's definitely professional, and I learn a lot. So that's one.
Okay, good shout out to that.
Let's see.
QSJ Radio, that's us, if you didn't know.
What is the other shows? I like Wolfgang. I do like Wolfgang because it's a different type of show, but it's fun. It's, you know what I mean? And it's different. You never know what's going to happen. So it's kind of to me, I see it as a reality type of live review show. It's fun.
Okay.
But they're good peoples as well. I do like Real Talk Radio because it is out in the UK, so I do get to hear a lot of artists that are from different countries, from out in the UK. And I've actually, from that show, I have received an email from a manager out in the UK who's going to be coming out to the States and who wants to meet with me. So I did, from that. Who am I missing? Oh my goodness.
This,
I like
go ahead.
shout out to Eddie Cuts as well. Eddie Cuts is pretty dope. I see that he's starting out with his show. I like his show because he's straightforward and straight to the point. You know what I mean? But there's a couple other ones I just can't think of them at the moment. But they're all different in their own way. But there is a lot of shows that I don't like because I see that they just rather collect money from the artists, but they're not really trying to invest or do anything with them. So that bothers me.
That bothers the shit out of me too. Big shout out to that. Candy Salad Circle. If you want people to stalk you on Instagram, where can they follow you?
You guys can follow me on the gram at Candy_Salad Circle. Facebook, you already know, Candy Salad Circle. All my names match.
And we're going to get you on the air because you want to do an exclusive interview. I know I've seen that in the comments before. So
yeah,
we'll make
I do.
sure that
I do. Whenever you're ready, I'm definitely down.
Hey, we on there. We on there. Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Mix 101 Radio Zone, Candy Salad Circle. Thanks for calling in.
No doubt, no problem. Anytime.
So I owe somebody like 25 minutes. Shout out to Candy. So I met Candy on a drive back out here. So big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to the Little Rock. I never know where Little Rock is from. So before we get the next caller in, because they're already calling, I'm going to go ahead and take a little break. Shout out to everybody listening. Little Rap. This is called Reality Rap. QSJ Radio.
Wavy Boy Productions. Top from the trenches. I know what's up, money clip, ENT. It's the squad, though. Came a long way, man. Listen that cage. You know if you feel my pain.
Homie, I'm stressed out. Devil trying to take me. If he don't break me, then it can only make me. Wanna be gangsters, start moving shady. I'm starting to hate niggas. Modern day slavery was trapped on an island, trying to make it off this. All I need is money, the women and the Porsche. Just beat the body, the DA never had shit. Was trying to build a case, shit was looking tragic. Them D's came to knock me, cause they saw my potential. But they don't know the pain of the struggles that I've been through. Incarcerated at the table, my instrumental. $1 in a dream into a pad and a pencil. Used to be gangbangers, taking they shahada. When they was in the town, they was criticizing Obama. Running around with guns, a terrorist like Osama. Go back to the crib just to be a good father. That's the way of the streets, a cell or a castle. He's saying what's poppin', you throwing up what's cracking. Words exchanged, the combo to a disaster. Happened so fast, you don't even know what happened. Now it's a man down. Tape on a murder scene. 10 colored Tim's, blood stains got him burgundy. Somebody call a paramedic. This is an emergency, but we ain't living by the law. We just call it perjury. Just look up to the sky when you feel like it's over. God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. And anytime you feel like you can't go on, just remember that things could always get worse. So just look up to the sky. Say what up to the deceased. Thank God you ain't dead or living out on the streets. And anytime you feel like you just can't, just remember that you only doing this for your team. Stressed out, sitting in the can, getting locked up, wasn't part of the plan. Baby gotta eat, I was out pushing them grams. Baby mama bitching, cause she ain't understand. Had my mama stressed out, cause I rent round the corner. I was on the block, had a Glock on the corner. Cops fly past, shit got hotter than the sauna. They threw me in cuffs, then my ass was a goner. But shout out to my gangsters that made it from the bottom. And black like Batman, but them niggas was robbing. What you supposed to do if you ain't eating, you starving? Cause this is real life, nigga, this ain't gossip. So I'ma keep striving until a nigga did it, until a nigga ballin'. I'm trying above the rim. Can't stop, won't stop, that's the way to get it. You ain't got motivation, and little nigga, you finished. Just look up to the sky when you feel like it's over. God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. And anytime you feel like you can't go on, just remember that things could always get worse. So just look up to the sky, say what up to the deceased. Thank God you ain't dead or living out on the streets. And anytime you feel like you just can't breathe, just remember that you only doing this for your team. It's money, clip.
Litty Rock.
Litty Rock, you know what's up, man.
Money Clip Entertainment, Money Clip.
There you go, I did it. Drewski, you know what's up, Money Clipping.
Said I love my niggas, yeah, I love my niggas, yeah, I love my niggas.
For the unsigned, go to get heard. QSJ Radio.
Shout out to Candy Solid Circle for calling in. Ooh, I don't even got my mic right. That's why I probably don't like the way I sound. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Oh, the radio voice is back. Phone lines are open for those who want to call in right now. We're talking about this review show. I call it a toxin and stuff like that. You guys can call it something, whatever it is. Phone lines are open for those that have been waiting. I have literally been shutting you guys down. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Who's on the air with us?
Yo, this is Ryan Willis.
Ryan Willis. Ryan Willis, is this the first time that you on QS?
Yes, sir. This is my first time.
Oh, okay. So you being brave, because first time people usually piss me off. So shout out to you.
Hey,
Ryan.
It's good, boss. It's good.
All right, Ryan, you are from where?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
So shout out to Houston, Texas. They're in the building. I was just in Texas, but not up there. You know, I was in what's that festival y'all got down in Austin? The South by Southwest.
South by Southwest. Yeah.
So what up, man? You know, we got these review show problems. And you know, my affiliates know that I kind of like what they're doing, but you know, for me, a review show has to bring you from the link to the stage. I'm hoping that you understand what that means. So let us know what has been your experience with these review shows.
Well, I've been plugged into these review shows for the last month or so. Been doing music since the age of 21. I'm 34, so about 13 years now.
Okay.
And, you know, I actually stumbled upon one locally in Houston just by scrolling through Facebook. And, you know, I seen the potential of it. And like you said, if they could take you from the link to the stage, then it's all gravy, all good. So after a couple of weeks, I started digging deep into it. Shout out to Eddie Cuts, because he the one who pretty much grandfathered me into things.
Okay.
So I started submitting my music to different radio stations, and, you know, I'm probably one of the manager artists that could say that I've never had none of my songs trashed or anything.
Okay.
The problem that I have with these review shows, I think you and Candy touched bases on it very well, is, first of all, if you're an artist and you're over these review shows, if you cannot separate yourself as an artist from somebody who's actually rating the song, or separate your emotions from the whole equation, then I don't think this is a good look for you.
Just to let you know, I don't agree with that. All right.
Oh, no. Let me further explain, because you're about to take it a totally different way. That's what I'm saying. Let me explain first.
Go ahead.
Now, I submit my song, my track to your podcast or whatever you want to call it, and I leave myself open for you to rate it however you want to rate it. Whether you say, oh, it needs mix and mastering, it needs this, it needs that, it needs this. But when you immediately drop your song and somebody does not like your song, and they tell you exactly the reason why, you got your emotions all tied up into it.
Okay. So the host is the one that is crying.
Yes.
Okay.
Jumping in
got
inboxes.
A few of them. Got a few of those.
Oh, I can name them, but you know, like you said, I'm gonna respect your wishes. I'm not gonna name drop that much, but basically, if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. Because I think it was one track that one person gave me a negative review on, and you know, I could have went ape shit crazy and everything else of that nature, but I shook my head, said thank you for your comments. I'll take that into consideration, and I moved on about my business.
Okay.
But for you to sit here and write a dissertation in my inbox just because I said I don't like one of your tracks, come on, you got to be more professional than that. And
seriously, I want to know who, but you know.
Oh, no problem. That's Eva James of Lope Game
Oh,
Entertainment.
let's go, son! I've been waiting for this shit.
So basically, you sitting here, you're in your emotions about everything. You sit here, and if somebody don't like your husband track, because I think the first time that I was in the Lope Game podcast, it was during the Rockets and Golden State
Playoff
playoff
game. Yep.
series.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and somebody dropped the Golden State track. Now, me being a fan of Houston Rockets, I just can't rock with it. I can't sit there and say, yeah, I like this track, even though it was a hot ass track,
Yeah.
because my fandom won't let me do it. So I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's just trash.
Yeah. Like
So
right now, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I
exactly,
heard it
like
later on, maybe.
maybe
Like,
I'll fuck with you later
yeah.
on, but like right now, nah, I can't rock with that shit. Now, I think a couple of songs later, Brian, shout out to Foolproof. I
Okay.
have no problems with him, and I don't want to disrespect his wife too much, because then we'll have a problem. But I don't want to have a problem.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sure he ain't doing
he
shit.
he
I said
dropped
it.
the track. He dropped the track. His New England Patriots track,
Okay.
and I'm a Houston Texans fan,
That's
and
not.
this is the first time that I'm on the show, and I'm like, nah, I can't rock with that shit either, because my fandom won't let me do it. And I'm not gonna rock with it now because y'all been beating our ass for the last 10 years. So I can't do it. So
It's too personal. Like
I know.
it's too.
I'm
And then
just saying.
there's some
I
people.
can't-
No, look, right. I get that shit 100% for real because like and you named your age, so you probably know about this. But when the whole East West Coast shit was going on, I had to pick a side. It wasn't like whatever, and still to this day, the side I picked is the side I go with.
And you gotta rock with
and
it.
you gotta go with it because it's part of you now. I get what you're saying. Big shout out to
So
that.
the first show I sat there and said, nah, that shit trash. So, she got in her feelings and she started, trying to make comments, and Brian was cutting her off and was like, look, I understand. That's fandom. That's a man thing. You don't understand. So, then my track dropped, Rain and Storms, Taze Made. And pretty much Brian was fucking with it. He gave it a 10. 2 days later, she got back on there after I dropped my second track, No Watch. She was like, to tell you the truth, I couldn't fuck with the first one because I wanted to hate it so much. But I couldn't because it was good, but I didn't have nothing negative to say. But at that time, I just couldn't say anything.
I think I saw that
And,
show.
that show. Yeah, fuck that. Take your emotions out of it. We are artists at the end of the day.
Big shout out to that. Shout out to
it's
Lope.
a hot
And,
track.
and you know what? It's all good. I have had a certain experience about it too. For some reason, I was called fake because I told people that I believe Husky Boy was trash. And that wasn't even a real opinion about it because I think that Husky Boy is talented. I do believe he's the laziest artist out of this whole community. But I really just went ahead and said something. I don't know if you've heard of this dude before, but yeah, like after that and Husky Boy knew he was playing around, she kind of took it to the ass and it was ridiculous. So I know exactly what you're saying. Shorty is an emotional chick, you know what I'm saying? And I get it.
And then I'm just gonna say it because everybody want to say it, but they scared to say it. I'm not scared to say shit. I'm not gonna bite my tongue for nothing. Brian Foolproof is talented, but he's not the fucking king of hip hop. I'm sorry. I've heard better. I could name a lot of artists that I heard better, but he's just not the king of hip hop. That's my opinion. But anyway,
I look, Ryan Willis, Houston, Texas. He's in the building. I just want y'all to know real quick. 85 to 95% of everybody feels the same way, and like exactly like you saying, there's no such thing. There's no such way he's the king of hip hop, and I really hope that one day he realizes that the king of hip hop doesn't even believe that they're the king of hip hop.
exactly.
And I need
Because
them.
if you don't believe that you have room to grow, no matter how big you become, guess what? You failed as an artist. Because even today, to this date, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Eminem, any of the greats that you name still think they have room to get better. That's why they put out bangers year after year after year after year. So if you think you're the king of hip hop and you think that you're the god of all this shit, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't have, I'm not having no filter today.
Yeah, you
Fuck
know
it.
what's really crazy is like I'm mad emotional. Like I really be crying on here, right? Like I'm like I don't give a fuck. Like that's me. And what's crazy is that I don't really understand how like I get it though. That nigga got one strong chick defending the shit out of his shit. So
Yeah.
shout out to that.
To, how would you say it? Who to fuck with in these review shows and who not to fuck with.
Okay, so first of all, I run this shit, not you. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you that real quick.
Man, you
And
got it.
second
Like
thing
you
is
said,
what?
this is my first time on your show, so my
No,
bad.
you're good. You're good. You're good. Everybody always thinks like, cause you're an artist yourself, and artists really believe that they should get demands, give demands, and it's all good. I get it, but at the end of the day, quiet. So,
Got you. Got you.
so what out of the review shows and you've been going in there and digging in it. What are the things as an artist that you got from it?
Okay, what I've mainly got from it so far. Shout out to Monique DeFrance Radio Super Show. Shout out to
Okay.
Chris Neely's The Dorky Review Show.
Okay.
The main thing I got so far is streams. And also I had a couple of phone calls for different shows in different cities for different of my artists.
Okay.
So shout out to that. That's the main thing that I got. But another thing is I got friendships, genuine friendships that you can't really put a value on. Like, I'm not gonna even lie to you. The month of June is the hardest month for me, because I lost two sons, and I just go through a whole emotional
The whole
thing.
thing, yeah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Oh,
and
sorry to hear that, but
oh
shout
no,
out to the strength too. Yeah, I'm saying.
but thinking that you can rely on family, I rely more on the people that I met in the last month more than I relied on family and friends. So when I say genuine friendships, shout out to Eddie Cuts, Jasmine Love, Chris Neely, Geddes Willis, just the whole 9 yards, the whole team, Scott Tripler, just everybody. So, oh, I'm sorry, and Nico Solo Dolo.
Okay. Shout out to
So that's
Nico.
genuine friendships.
Shout out to the friendships. So music connections. I believe that that's something that's really pro on these review shows, and especially it's crazy because it's usually only through comments, and then it becomes phone calls, and then it becomes how you doing this morning type shit. So shout out to that. Shout out to the friendships. Do you believe that if what has to be a standard for you to even try to submit to a certain show?
Oh wow. Like Candy said, professionalism. If you sitting there smoking weed, drinking a bottle, and pushing, $5 to skip to hear your song next. If they plugging that more than people that don't pay their beats, you hit a beat tag. I'm not trying to submit to that. I'm looking for professionalism. I'm looking for you investing in your craft because you decided to invest. I mean, to start this show, you should be able to invest in your show. So if you're sitting there on a 1996 Mac,
Nokia.
Apple mic, IBM mic, I'm not trying to hear
You
that.
said an IBM mic though. Them shits is fire. Let me stop.
I'm just saying, like,
Shits
if
is
you're
litty
not,
though. Let me
you're
stop.
you're asking us to invest in our music. Okay, invest in your setup.
Yeah, word.
If your stream is getting cut every 5 minutes and you don't know why your stream is getting cut every 5 minutes, come on now, you gotta learn on a daily basis.
Yes.
So sit there, see what the guidelines of Facebook is, see what the guidelines are. Are you following them? What type of music is going to get you cut off? If this song is monetized or if it's not monetized, I know all this. And then if you, I know Eddie Cuss is listening right now. Is there's no shot at Eddie, But if you fumble through your own list and you can't keep up with who's in order, and then you sit there and call me Brian Lewis or Ryan Lewis, and you skip over my submission 500 times when I told you what my name is, and you argue with me on live, I can't submit no more. Then on top of that, if you sit there and you look unorganized on your live, I can't submit to you no more.
Okay, so check this out. Because I'm going to go ahead and defend some of these hosts that have been doing it. All right?
Okay, go ahead.
Because I got to. All right? So I see that you sent me an email, right? And different people got different emails. Some people got Gmail, Yahoos, whatever, right? And I don't know what Eddie does because Eddie goes on while I'm at work. So shout out to Eddie because I see that he's picking up and growing. Sometimes artists don't understand what it really means to submit properly. So I got you right here, right? I got you right here because can I use you as an example?
Hopefully I sent the right one.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay, I got you right now. This is Nothing New, right?
Yes.
By Flacco, Houston, Texas, right? Submitted by Management, which is yourself, right?
Yes.
So all that is in the body. It's all good. But in our standards, we needed specific subject lines because you can get lost in the thing, right? So in defense of certain shows, because Candy, she tries mad hard. Okay, 525, they try mad hard, and their setup is similar to mine.
I didn't say nothing about Candy.
Hey, let me.
Don't get me in trouble, man.
Hey, listen. Candy cool. She can take it. She's strong. So when they trying to look for artists too, they're not sending shit properly. And of course, it's gonna frustrate the host because the host is sitting here like, nah, son, you didn't send it the way I want it. It's not the way you sent it. You feel me? Like when people are like asking for certain things, if you go and you try to submit yourself for maybe some award show or something, they got a whole form. Boom, 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 boom. Some of these guys don't have that. So they'll ask for specific things. So now if he's not asking for that stuff and you're sending emails and he got to search through emails, you got to give that dude a break. He's just starting off. For me, a lot of these cats are just starting off.
Nah, Eddie is cool. Like I said, that's my brother. So that was just a little shot at him, and he's probably laughing at his computer. So that wasn't no personal shot at him. I'm just saying.
No, but for me, like I have arguments all the time with artists, and I not for nothing, but this is real radio shit. You're being heard on iHeartRadio. You're being heard on TuneIn, Stitcher, all these places. I know where these guys are coming from. You feel me? Like and I think that artists need to understand, like, this shit is harder than people understand. So, but not to Eddie. It's just a lot of artists argue with me. You know, they racial slur me, bro. They racial slur me. No, but anyway. But that's not to you, Ryan Willis. Shout out to him, artist and management. Two big ass jobs and very difficult jobs, so shout out to you. But yeah, for real, like some of our hosts, man, we just don't fucking like when artists like really believe that, yo, my shit is the best and I need you to play it and I send you money and I need you to wait because I'm trying to find your shit because you know what I mean? If I showed you how unprofessional your email looks, even though the body is showing, you forward me something that you sent to somebody else. That is not that's not showing me that you have interest in showing professionalism. It's just part of that. It's called email critique.
Now, at the same, go ahead.
But I feel you when you're trying to like send something real quick. Like I got it there, it's right there. The song is there. I'm gonna forward that. I'm gonna include my attachments. I'm good to go. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't harp too much on the email shit. But at the end of the day, some of these hosts are like really looking for specific stuff, and like I guess somebody's somebody's artist name could be Magnets, and they looking
Well,
for magnets and they find stickers. Like
what
it's crazy.
Well, at the same time, like shout out to Candy Solid Circle. I viewed her show many times, never submitted, but she has her things pinned up there on the format she wants. And basically, if I was to send to Candy, I would send a electronic press kit, basically with the artist info, the
Oh, so
bio,
you,
and everything like that, with the actual picture of the artist. Send the track, the beat, the vocals.
so what?
But
So
last time I
why?
did that, it was too much.
Oh yeah, well I bet you right now she'd be like, yo, send that shit again, because because now she getting it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I totally
and she
understand.
growing, and she's growing. And I told her straight to her face, I was like, man, you next up. Like, you need to be at the right place at the right time, and you good. We're no longer gonna see you on those lives. But yeah, for real. Like, I get it. You know, EPK. Some people can't handle it. It's really big. It's a file. You know, they don't like files for some reason. But you know, I know y'all working. The music quality is outstanding. But what happens, you know, when some people are sitting there like, it's not my cup of tea? What is your reaction to that?
My reaction is, thank you for listening.
Mm,
And I'm gonna keep grinding because not everything is for everybody.
mm.
And just because one person on one live tell me that it's not their cup of tea, guess what? It's a million other people that haven't heard my message that I want to get out just yet. So I take it with a grain of salt and I move on. Now, if you want to sit there and now start talking shit and draw it on and take it to the next platform and still then I have a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you just turned into a troll and now you taking shit personal, probably because 2 days ago I said your shit was trash and everything else of that nature. Now that that brings up another thing real quick.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Jorday Gaynor.
Oh, let's not bring him up, please.
No. I'm gonna
Yo!
say no. Let me shout him out real quick.
Fuck
please.
a Jorday. That's love. That's a fuck Jorday with love right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it
God
like this.
damn. I hope he's in the building.
The first time I heard Jorday Gaynor's track was on Candy Solid Circle.
Yeah.
And I gave it a C++. Because I just wasn't fucking with it. I didn't like it at that point in time. Maybe I had just got out the pool and my ears was clogged or whatever else. I just wasn't fucking with it.
Okay.
So, a couple of days later, he followed me to another one and I gave his track again a C++. But to make a long story short, he's with Def Jam now?
Yep.
He got Artist of the Week on Candy Solid Circle. He got Artist of the Week with you. I seen the video that he tagged of you just blowing his track up and everything. But that nature, like, nigga, why ain't nobody heard of you? All this other shit. So I heard all that. So just because it wasn't my cup of tea doesn't mean that anybody else don't fuck with it.
Yeah. I had a problem with him because of this shit.
And I'm gonna put it like this: shout out to Jorday because we're gonna start working together. So it is what it is.
Shout out to that. Shout out to Jorday, man, for real. Shout out to that artist, and then specifically shout out to all the artists who have continued their grind regardless of what the audience says and the host says through these review shows. We're on the air right now with Ryan Willis. Ryan is manager in Houston, Texas. Who are you managing right now?
Oh, the roster is long. Taze Made, Flacco. I have Dracia Marche. I have DJ Chose. I have Von D out of Fort Worth, Texas. That's pretty much the gist of it. K Shine, which is an R&B artist out of Houston. So I have a couple of developmental artists that we'll put out in about a couple of more weeks. So majority of them is Texas artists, and then I made a coalition, a little, a family entity with Green Game. So
Okay.
I'm gonna shout out Black Waters, Dread Red. Forgot the sister name, but her too. Get it. So I'm gonna shout out everybody. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
she's still developing,
yeah,
so
yeah.
she got one track, but it's still fire. So, shout out Eddie Cuts, Green Game. So it is what it is. That's all family.
Shout out to Green Game, man. I see them all over the place. They working hard, man. So shout out to that. Shout out to Ryan Willis. Ryan Willis, where can they find your stuff at and your music at?
You can find me at that Dorky Review Show because that's where all my exclusives get dropped. But check my IG, the Midas Touch Management. All my artists got their own IGs. I'll tag it later, and you can hit our SoundClouds as well. And then we're on every major platform with DJ Chose and Von D.
Shouts to Nikki Solo Dolo. He was like, her name is Emmy Cell or something, right? Emmy Cell? I don't know.
Who?
Emmy Cell. The shorty that you couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to that. Shout out to Green Game. Shout out to Ryan Willis in the building. Good looking out on the call. Don't worry, I'm not that big of a dick. Okay. I usually go in on artists or anybody that hits me up for the first day because they gotta get it seems like you know exactly what you guys need to do, what you guys are doing. These motherfuckers still calling me in the middle of this convo, but
and I put it like this, man. Hey, lay low on that bitch word, dog. You didn't call me two bitches already.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Now I'm gonna have to hang up on you. Shout out to my man Ryan Willis, man. This is my show.
Right,
Remember that? Thank you so much. Okay. Shout out to everybody listening. I think I might have to work on that too, though. I'll be calling everybody that. Shout out to Dorky Review Show. No, you didn't forget to mention him. He's an extremely good deport. That's crazy. Like Ryan was like, you could find me on that Dorky Review Show. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home to the unsigned artists. We still are playing songs. You guys can hear the phone ringing. Freshness, Fresh. I think that's his number right there. This one right here is called No Fear on QSJRadio.com.
the choir while they sing it to the rest.
but still be hating, just walking streets and saving souls. While we still debating, but that's what we supposed to do. Brothers, I be acting too. Everything we going bad, but yeah, my dog, he dealt with you. I walk with Jesus cause he first loved me, and watch him resurrect my mind like 1, 2, 3, you know that. Love in the feet, baby. Only God. Love in the feet, baby. Only God.
For the unsigned, go to get heard. QSJ Radio.
Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Freshness Fresh. He's been making moves all over these review shows, so shout to him. He gets his international play when he comes to QS, so shout to that. Shout to all the artists. Shout to all the review show. I call them like when they're really trying to like do other things like bigger and like investments and stuff like that and money and all that. Like I really like they're growing up to be other things. So shout to that. Shout to everybody listening, man, for real. But Freshness, he still be sending me fucked up songs. Like stop sending me songs like that.
QSJ Radio.
Rewind to the fucking beginning of this show on how you should be sending songs, saving them for your own so you don't lose them. Today's topics are the ISRC, the International Standard Recording Code. That is for this, for you guys, make sure that people have identified your song. It's for sound and music videos. So ISRC. We're also talking about things that artists should invest in, but we're using these call-ins right now for artists to hit us up on their experiences with what I believe are very, very toxic things going on in the review show community, because we have grown into a community. Some of us are learning from each other. Some of us are very, very close to each other now. And some of us are actually hating on each other. So shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Phone lines are open. I got two. I got one from Canada. I don't know who the fuck is that. I don't call nobody. Trust me. I think once in a while I call wifey. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. I mean, what do you want me to do, man? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You want me to tell you guys exactly what's going on here? Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJ Radio. Who's on the air with me?
What's up, man? This is Fresh, man. How we doing?
Fresh, what up, man? What up, though?
Man, my bad about that last email. I knew better.
Nah, it's all good because, you got to get it out. I understand. But, it's part of that post-production. And hopefully that you, you start doing things that way. That way people,
right.
Because I'm going to tell you straight up, like, you got some hits. You know this. People are loving the songs. Some places, they really strict about their thing. Somebody's calling from Ontario. I don't know who the fuck that is. But in order for the DJ to know what's going on, they don't carry crates no more. They gotta type in the name. And if I type your name in right now, the only reason that I could find it is because I had to change it. And that's too much work for me. And if that's too much work for me, you can imagine the people who are extra busy about it.
Right.
But that's just my thing. And I'm sure that you're gonna do your thing and save that information. So big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. My man's in the building, big artist making moves all over the place. Freshness Fresh, what up, man? How's these review shows treating you?
Man, well, before I get started with that,
Okay.
I just want to say I thank QSJ, not only QSJ, Candy Solid Circle, for giving artists platforms like myself to actually express themselves. And I just want to make a challenge to other artists out there that it's 2019 and, You know, we see everything that's going on just in this country alone, and we have to make better music. Music has always spoken to the hearts and minds of people in this country, and until artists we get back to touching people's hearts and souls, things are going to continue to spiral out of control. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that first and share how appreciative I am of this show and other shows like dealing with other review shows. When I first got into the review show.
Hold on. Shout out to that. Okay? Shout out to that. That's real artist shit that had to come from somewhere. He didn't read that. That was real. Oh my gosh. And it's true. Okay? People have been talking about that for a long time. I mean, as a young kid, watching Condoleezza Rice say the same thing during 90s hip hop, it was really rough. And it is true. You gotta, music is something that inspires. It also dictates certain people's lives. So shout out to that. Shout out to Freshness Fresh for that. That's real grown. Shout out to that. That's grown. You know what I'm saying? Your boy get emotional with shit like that. But anyways, the other shows, what's up?
Man, well, first I want to say I shout out every show that's out there trying to push artists to even release music. It's a hard thing to release music for somebody else to hear. Every time you write a song, or every time I write a song, I feel like I'm giving a piece of my soul to somebody. So I can't just give anything to somebody, and I can't just give my soul to somebody. So I want to thank all the review shows that aren't trying to get artists out there, but most definitely I appreciate shows, which your show isn't really a review show, but I appreciate your type of shows that are actually trying to assist artists with the professionalism and business portion of the music. I've been doing music now on my own for about 7 years now.
Okay.
And I mean, it was just a process. I remember making beats and trying to give them away to people, and nobody would take them.
Yeah.
And I remember just sitting there saying, I think I could probably get on them better than anybody else could probably do. So that was one of the best decisions I ever made. And the thing that helped me to do that was other people building me up and telling me, hey, yeah, man, do that. Think outside of the box. And your show actually helps me. I did not know what a IRSC was before today. Never heard of it. So when I saw that caption earlier this morning saying that we were going to be talking about that tonight, I said, I got to find some time. I got a lot of stuff to do today, but I got to find some time to go live so I can learn, because shows like your show is a learning experience for artists like me who have the music side of it, but we have to have the business and professionalism side of it. So that's definitely what I've been trying to work on this year, and I'm definitely learning a lot. I did hear, I believe that was Ryan Willis. He brought up about the press kit.
Yeah.
Now I remember coming in your live when I first started coming in, and I asked what a press kit was, because I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I just had a song. I put a song out there. I hadn't put a song out in years.
Okay.
Just put a song out there. I got some good feedback from some guys in California, and they asked me for a press kit. I'm like, what the fuck is a press kit? Like,
yeah.
So I actually got a press kit did. It was like $500-$600. It was done wrong. So the guy's like, yeah, man, it looks good. Everything looks great, but it doesn't look professional. So at that moment, I was like, well, what can I do to legitimize everything that I'm doing? If you don't have that look like you know what you're doing, nobody's gonna believe you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you have to have that look. It's not a persona that you're putting on, but it's professionalism. You have to handle yourself in that manner.
It's so like it's a perception, right? Because you got these guys, they do videos, they flashing money, a whole bunch of stuff, and they can't get a ride to work. It'll show up. It'll show up, but the perception when you're dealing with people that don't know you, this day and age is via text. It's a file. It's a picture. It's not really a contact, and the EPK, or the electronic press kit, is basically I think that $500 is a ridiculous amount of money for an artist just to tell a small bio and places you've done. and shows you've been
Right.
to, you know, because you could do that yourself. But you didn't know that at that time, you know, and
Right.
and that's what ends up happening, right? People are taking advantage of artists' feelings and crap like that, and just like you said, you know, you're giving your all to these review shows for them to, you know, slam you, you know, and for what? You know, like, what else can you give me other than your version of what my song should sound like? You know, and I'm not knocking that because, like I said, you know, I have very close associates that do review shows, and some of them are learning, and some of them behind the scenes literally will hit me up like, yo, Traffic, I really need to learn this shit. Where can I find this info? You know, because I don't want to sound stupid. And that's really crazy and grown up of them to do that and say that and to come to me because your boy don't know everything. I just been around for a while, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to that. But and it's really cool the words that you're saying, and because I remember when I used to come on this air and I had this whole segment with the whole We Got Standards, and I kind of like threw that shit out the window because I believe no one was listening. Like, I really hated it. And then I started yelling at people. Like, I started yelling at artists that didn't want to do this. So I really do appreciate that you went ahead and did that, because you got a feature with one of my favorite peoples. Okay? you gotta. When I saw that, I was in my, like, there's no fucking way this just happened, right? Like, that's me in my head, and I'm sitting there like, that was a good move, and that was a good move because you know that dude can really captivate you too, and I really like that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about the Drex and Freshness Fresh song.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely
bananas. Oh my god. Shout out to Candy.
Absolutely, man.
Put herself.
I've definitely learned so much, man, that I'm very appreciative of. Besides the connections and besides the features and meeting people, man, it's just the way that you have to carry yourself. And I know that I keep saying it over and over again because it's so important that you have to carry yourself. You have to walk with a big stick and be quiet. You have to.
Yes.
Because I see a lot of artists, they're very flashy. And when you're flashy, you have to keep up that flash because that's what's attracting fans to you, is the fact that you're flashy. It's the fact that you have guns in every video and diamonds around your wrist, and they think you're living this lifestyle, and you have to be able to keep that going. I believe that as long as you just you don't have to make good music, but as long as you make music from your heart and it's coming from the right place, everything else will fall in line. But this year, I wanted to work on getting myself out of the way because I felt like some of the times in the past I've been holding myself back by thinking I can do everything by myself. And it, like you just said, it really takes a big person to admit to someone else that, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
I need help doing this. I need help doing that. Or I don't know this, because no one knows everything. But once you convince yourself that, hey, I need help and I want to work towards getting better, that's the most important thing. I remember I've put out songs this year, and I've probably got on an average of 3,000 to 5,000 views per song.
Okay.
So far, but I remember that 3,000 to 5,000 being all the views I would get in a couple of years combined.
Yes.
So I had to move away from the cell phone videos. I love editing my own videos. I love shooting video and editing.
Hey, do me a favor. Tell your boy that, okay? Tell your boy that. God damn it. Tell your boy.
I just had this conversation with somebody earlier.
Okay.
About video. They were showing me an app on the phone. It's like, yeah, you can shoot a video on this and edit it. And I'm like, that sounds nice. I said, I remember doing that. I remember taking video and putting it on my computer and editing everything myself and being done with it. And it looked great, but it didn't look professional. So once I did put a video out there that was actually shot by somebody that was actually edited properly and was done right, I could not go back to
You can't
shoot
move
video on a
backwards.
phone.
Yep, you can't move
Right.
backwards.
So that, and once I started in the review shows, I noticed the difference between shows like your show in Candy Solid Circle, and other review shows. Yeah, they were giving me good reviews. Yeah, your music sounds great, sounds good. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, well, what is this doing besides letting people hear it? What is it doing to really get my song out there or push me further than this review show? And you hit it right on the head when you said that, hey, they're not actually assisting artists with finding this information out. I've seen you, when I asked about my press kit, I actually watched you research it, pull it up, read everything to me for me to go back and do more research and find out exactly what you were talking about. So, I mean, I'm really appreciative.
Big shout out to that. Freshness Fresh in the building. We talking about a whole bunch of things. Of course, Freshness Fresh is having a really good year because he's promoting the crap out of himself, and he's doing it differently than he's done in the last few years. And talking about that, we're talking about these review shows. We're talking about these connections that you made through people. There's no way that Drex is your next door neighbor. Where did you find him, and how did you guys connect?
Well, it's funny that you say that. The first time I've ever heard of Drex was with him and Ledge on the song. I want to say it was him, Ledge, and maybe Husky. Okay. They were on the song together. Now, Husky I'd seen in a couple other review shows. Drex just happened to be live one day, and he was playing music. So I sent my song in, and it seemed like Drex skipped me for like 2 hours, man. I'm like, oh, man, I know this guy's song wasn't better than mine. Just play it. So he finally plays my song. I hear the intro of Not Another Day come on, and then I heard the song just cut off. I'm like, damn, did he cut my song off? Well, he's calling me on live. He wants me to get on live. And he's like, man, this track is hot. You know, I want to feature. I'm like, man, you did not. I'm like, man, you did not just stop your live to call me and ask me to do a feature. Like, man, of course. Like, man, look, I've been waiting to do a feature with you. He's like, man, where have you heard of me? I'm like, man, I used to hear QSJ and Traffic play your tracks back to back to back to back every day. I'm like, damn, who the hell is Drex? But man, it's definitely from your show.
Okay. I had a feeling, but Drex be going on lives, killing me, man. He be killing me with those lives, but you know that's what's up, man. Shout out to that. The song is bananas. So review shows or lives have put you into personal connections with some of these guys. Would you say that some of those pros? What are some of the other pros from these review shows?
Well, man, the most important thing again is learning, not only about the business side but the musical side. Some people are not artists, so they don't rap, they don't make beats. I have a couple of friends that do lives that are strictly engineers, so they mix and master, do the works. So when they're able to hear something, they're having a great ear. So I'm not in the live review show so much to see how many people can hear the song. At that point, I'm there to see what I need to fix about this song. I know this is a rough track. What do you hear that can be different?
That's crazy because not a lot of artists are there for that. You know what I mean? Like some of them are like there for themselves. So shout out to that. Shout out for you to be that humbling. It's actually like killing me right now. Like, I want to give a dap. I want to dap you up real quick. Like, yeah, that's my G. Like, yes, that's what you there for. But anyways, go ahead.
Man, if this hurricane hits, man, I may be dapping you up a lot sooner than you think.
I'll be right here, bro. I think it's coming our way, but
hell yeah.
I'm out here in VA, so you know.
I'm definitely gonna make sure that I'll be donating to the show very shortly, very soon. Also, gonna definitely try to get an exclusive interview if I can with you. I would definitely like to do something like Ledge did. I think Ledge was in the building, or you guys were together. I would definitely
Oh,
want to.
you saw the video? Oh, okay.
Right, I would definitely want to do an actual interview face to face.
I like McDonald's fries. I had McDonald's fries in that interview, bro. I was chomping them shits.
Like shit. But I definitely would want to do an interview and sit down, and just not only discuss about my career, but just try to take in as much knowledge as I can, because that's the only way to move forward, is to continue to learn and continue to grow. So you have to make those connections. Like I hear you say a lot, you have to show up to the party, and I had not been showing up to the party, so I got plenty of energy.
Shout out to that Freshness Fresh, man. If you don't mind, I would like to ask a few more questions. If you don't want to name drop, but is there a review show out there that you said I can't fuck with them?
Not really. I'm gonna be honest, because I have my picks and chooses on review shows. If that show doesn't look professional, if I'm scrolling down, if I don't know you, and I don't see that your review show is growing at all, which means if I seen your review show in January, and you were coming from a phone, and you haven't tried to get some type of operating system so that you can actually broadcast, or you don't have anything on your screen. The screen isn't a big thing to me, but I have to hear that broadcast, because I'm not going to be able to get an actual sound for what the music sounds like through that phone. So I have to have that broadcast.
Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. So for you, your standard is you got to hear it. You can't. It has to be some quality, some sort of maybe sound. It doesn't have to be too much like going on, but something. It has to sound like a show.
Right. I definitely want to be able to plug it in my, like this your show. Which I do all the time. I plug it right in my aux cord, and I drive around town. It's a radio station.
Oh, that's what we are,
So,
though. Yeah, son, we in the whip. We in the whip, son. I try to
right.
tell
And
you.
when I get rid of some of this memory, I'm definitely downloading the app.
Oh man!
But I don't
Oh
have an
wait!
iPhone,
Don't
so I'm
download
an
the
Android.
app. Don't download the app yet, cause we had to get rid of that app. So we got another one. It's smaller, and it's more useful. We had to get rid of the app. Damn, I was promoting the crap out of that too. But there was like, yeah,
But
go ahead.
But even if, man, I mean, it has to be professional. I think Kenny brought that up earlier, as well as Ryan. You have to. I definitely want to see who's ever hosting. I want to see your face. Some shows you're not able to see the person's face. I have to see your face, because I want to see your reaction, not only to my music, to other people's music as well. That's a big difference. You can say a song sounds great and have a smirk on your face, and I'm like, yeah, bullshit. But I mean, it's a lot that goes into it. I try to keep in review shows that don't have too many people in them. Not because I don't think that I'll get played, because I know that I'll probably have my entire song played with the amount of people in there, and they can really critique that song, as opposed to being in a live show with 2,000, 3,000 people in it, and I'm getting 30 seconds of my song played for them to tell me it's trash.
True story. So, you shout to that. Shout to the non-number chasing artists, which is crazy, because some people believe that's the only way. And
no, it comes, man. If you do it the right way, it comes. It definitely comes.
Freshness Fresh, where can they find you at, man?
And I'm on Facebook at Freshness Fresh, as well as YouTube at Music365. I have an Instagram at Fresh for the Win, and also Snapchat Fresh for the Win. You can look me up anywhere there.
Shout out to that, man. We're going to discuss this interview on the scenes, okay? Behind the scenes. Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Go looking out for calling in.
Already. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Let's go. It's 12 in the morning. And I'm stuck in the studio.
studio, but it's time to go harder.
Let's go, baby.
Pain leaking from my stereo, that's why I go higher.
Gotta go higher.
But it seems nothing's ever gonna change, so I'm living my best life.
That's what we doing.
Cause these streets gonna stay the same.
Chrome 9 of the blue seal. When the night calls, it's the gators of the blue eel. That's right. Hard decision, red of the blue pill. Blazer of the hoodie, no Gucci, nigga stays real. The nightlife, it attracts too. When we slide through, time still like a statue. Ladies on Moscato, I'm on Henny, pure black too. Top floor like a ball, stinking club truth. Them dark spots got me feeling bright. I'm the source, I'm attracted to the city like staring out the window where the lake got me feeling right. I'm about to green, so them hopes got me feeling nice. Shots to the medulla, love being spread like we Musa. If they hating, then we throwing up the deuces. Other than that, everything's feeling right. Doing this Hillary Claude Ray, just living life.
And I'm stuck in the studio, but it's time to go harder.
Stay safe out there, Fresh, for real.
From my stereo, that's why I go higher.
My whole weather app is bugging.
But it seems nothing's ever gonna change, so I'm living my best life.
Shout out to all the artists in the Gulf. Shout out to the people in the Gulf, for real.
The city is amazing. Secured a couple bags and we tearing down the stages, feeling like we made it. 5-star suites, clerks asking how your day went. The night you only mix with who you grind in the day with. Nigga love the fact that you started from the basement. You high rising now, but you started from the pavement. Everything's official with my niggas. Boss credit in the streets, we official with credentials. My boo decked out, Chrome 9 is essential. Disrespect out your mouth, the team I move around your dentals. We love the city, but we focus on the new vision. Steady stepping on and on like Baduism. Yes, I forgot to mention, we on a new mission, upper echelon. Now we living in a new dimension. You was honored, but first came humility. Now you the plug, the lights is where the city be. Let's go.
And I'm stuck in the studio, but it's time to go harder.
Let's go, baby.
Pain leaking from my stereo, that's why I go higher.
Gotta go higher.
But it seems nothing's ever gonna change, so I'm living my best life.
That's what we doing.
Cause these streets gonna stay the same. 12 in the morning, and I'm stuck in the studio, but it's time to go harder. Pain leaking from my stereo, that's why I go higher. But it seems nothing's ever gonna change, so I'm living my best life. Cause these streets gonna stay the same.
Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home to the unsigned artists. Today we're talking about that ISRC code that you should be having. International Standard Recording Code. It's internationally recognized identification tool for sound and music video recordings. Make sure you guys try to get that for the tracks that you're trying to release. We also talked about a lot of things that artists should be investing themselves in. One thing that we didn't really talk about is interviews. A lot of radio stations who got the money, they will take you in for no money. They will take you in and do an interview with you. It's depending on who the DJ or the journalist that you are trying to do the interview with. I would do radio campaign. I remember when I was managing an artist that she hated the schedule because I went from radio one day to TV, radio one day to TV to just a podcast and just a call in and then a magazine, all within a week. But we were really trying to promote a single. And all those people had different audiences, and we would just try to go here, there, everything, blah, blah. Of course, we had our DJ friends, and we had our performances and all that stuff, but nothing really goes better than if a legitimized platform or media source is saying this is the next one up, or this is what I feel about this artist, that will gain more fans than you would ever believe, because people believe in these journalists, artists, radio stations, TV stations. You know, people find out your favorite food. Like, you know, just stupid shit like that. It will really get you to legitimize yourself, one, as a human, and two, like, you know, that you are a person and somebody else can relate to what it is that you're doing. And for those who have the app right now, yes, delete the app. The app does not work. It's not even the right stream going in there. CG3 is in the building. What up? The phone lines are open if you guys want to call in. We do have a few minutes left. I didn't think I was going to be on this long today, but we do have a few minutes left if you guys want to come on the air and join us here on QSJ Radio. Hold on a second. Oh man, what's up with my man Will? Damn. Y'all know I'm a veteran, so I got some of these groups. What the hell is this? Ain't nobody calling me? Nah. You're not calling me. No la. Last song of the night? You saw that yawn? So there's a thunderstorm coming here. Oh, Canada. Hello? Shout out to everybody listening, tuning in to QSJ Radio. Who I got on the air with me?
It's Fireman from Canada.
Who? Fire Blaze?
Yeah, how you doing? Traffic. Blessings, QSJ.
Shout out to the homie Fire Blaze. You know what I'm saying? The dude with no shape up. What up, family? How you how you doing?
Just monitoring. I'm blocked on every feature on Facebook, so I thought I'd call in.
Oh, that's what's up, man, for real. Shout out to Fire Blaze, man. You know, out of anybody out there, I think you can really shed light on this topic about the review shows, bro, because I think you in everybody's life. I think this is like all you do. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, here's the thing. I was on house arrest for a long time, right? And
Okay.
I had a whole bunch of young MCs and youths around me that were into music, right? But we could never really get anywhere. And the ones that did get anywhere, they couldn't get out of the country for various reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so I figured, all right, let's hit the live. And the first couple of lives, they weren't even music reviews technically. There were people like selling pearls and seashells and weird shit. And then I hit odd blogs like Madism and stuff like that, and they were talking about pot and all that. So I started going on Facebook and just used the search bar. And it was basically type in indie music, underground, anything, see what comes up.
Okay.
So you had your various top shows back then. And I remember one day you were saying something about there's like 100,000 review shows on the net that we don't even know about, and blog spots that we're not even, you know what I mean, looking into.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize that, like, my other thing now is taking some of the knowledge what you do say and trying to apply it. Now that's the hard part, because finding some of that knowledge is hard, because you got to do a little more reading and involving yourself in some of these groups and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I've watched the progress of where the internet has took in the normal life, and now I can see that there's positive, and then there's bullshit behind it too, and I can tell you a lot of that too, right? Like, My big thing with that is, like you said, how do you get artists from the review to a stage? How do you set up a network so that, okay, all right, so for example, in Jersey seems to be the hub of the hip hop, and it seems to be the hub of these review shows when I tuned in.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, if everybody in Jersey that's on the level of the review show being the host could fucking set aside their differences and share the guests on their shows, because most of these guys, they hit, you know what I'm saying? They hit multiple of the same
I tell you
platforms.
right now, Fire Blaze knows so much shit, and he just pays attention a lot.
Yo, Dave, I remember one time, right? Look, I'm in Canada. I watched 2 to 3 hosts all arguing, right, about artists for a peace event that was happening in Jersey. And I'm like, the fucking thing is going to hell before the day even happens.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
The crazy thing is about that, too, not mentioning no names, but I happen to be a top viewer in a lot of those shows. So I felt like, let me drop a little bit of, like, influence. And they did. They all kind of like, all right, we need to talk this out because it's getting stupid.
Yeah.
And that's the power of the net, though, right? You don't know what you're really broadcasting until you're broadcasting. You know what I mean?
That's the lion, but you the lion, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fire Blaze, like, you don't understand. Like, you like that little ghost motherfucker that everybody likes showing up, man. And you pound those hearts in, especially when you're feeling the show that day. Shout out to that. Shout out to my homie Fire Blaze.
Even that, right? On the perspective of a fan, right? So, like, okay, here's the problem when I have with review shows on that perspective. I try to, but see, here's the thing. I'm not really good with a phone half the time, and I'm fucking illiterate, right? So what I do is I try to type in these people's names half the time. If I can type you in on YouTube, most of the time is where I'm watching the videos. SoundCloud is one of those things that if you don't have it on your phone, every time you go to click the link, it goes, you need to add the app and all this other shit. So I got that on my computer, but you know what I mean? This is why I express to artists, get every platform you can. And you know, try to work it that way. Yeah. But if I can type your name in, I'm going to obviously remember you years down the road. Yeah. Like, there's artists that I've watched go missing, and I'm like, where the fuck is this guy? And if I mention his name to certain other artists, they'll be like, yeah, he's on the top of his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you have other artists that, like I said, because they're getting played every other day, sometimes you know the artist or you know the track, but you don't know the name of the track.
Yeah.
And I noticed with your review, you take the time to actually set up a platform where you can see who's getting played at the time it's getting played. Some of these other reviews, it happens so quick that you're like, oh, man. And they don't even mention a name, let alone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've watched a lot of that. Now, here's my thing with that, too. I don't mind giving a link to anybody that's going to take the time to listen to it. My thing is this, though, right? If you're going to have feelings of being a host and an artist towards the same platform, then put your all in it. Otherwise, it's wasted energy because, God forbid, there's an argument with another artist between that artist, or God forbid the host is arguing with another host. You're putting yourself in a bad energy by, you know what I mean? By holding on to obligations that technically you don't even obligate yourself with. My thing is, spread your shit to everywhere on the internet. 3 to 4 radio stations that you guys are all inclined with. Our numbers are through the roof half the time. The broadcast itself, like the live performance, is going to be streamed on 4 or 5 fucking different, you know what I mean, outlets.
This motherfucker is...
Artists will pay for that. The idea of even saying, yo, dog, I'll give you a space to put a table with your shit, give you the stage for about 2 to 3 songs. Whatever happens is you. People would do that. If you're an artist, you say you have a fan base, bro, $10 to each artist, right? Let's say you have a venue of 15 artists. 10 people with $10. You know what I'm saying? That's $100 for each artist. You know what I mean? That's a $10 ticket, a seat. You could fill a fucking room with that.
Big shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in.
I remember asking a question one day, and it was even based on just the artist, like not putting any blame on anybody, but artists have to take the craft serious too, in the sense of, all right, apply everything you just said in terms of how to get your stuff on the internet. Now, if we're talking about listening, I mean, I come from the street. Anything out of a bag, I can sell it to you. You understand?
Yeah.
If we can sit there and get the ideal of going, okay, we're not from the street no more, we're trying to get out of this is the whole reason why we're doing this, what is it to get a permit? What is it to if I made a fucking barbecue in the park. What's the difference if I threw a couple of speakers in there and made a little thing? Like, is it a noise permit I'm getting? Where can I go with this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we are the what do you call it? The young generation. Let's not fucking bark around the bush about it. We're going to be the next leaders of the world. Let's go straight to your municipal buildings, your thing buildings. Ask these questions. Fuck, have a concert there. A relief concert for all the violence. Why not? It ain't going to stop until the violence stops. I mean, these are the questions I ask myself, right? But the community, it's there. It's how do we make people see it? You know what I mean?
That's what happens when the lion comes out, bro. That's what happens when the lion comes out.
Right.
Fire
You know what it
blaze.
is, though, Dave? This is why I see, because here's the thing. Like, when I watch artists, and they, for some reason, it's like every couple of weeks they get into this zone, no one's listening to me. And you do it all the time. Well, no one's fucking listening to you,
Yeah,
right?
all the time.
Everybody's on the same page. Not everybody, but there is a group of people, and I've watched them grow. What I do know is that there's a community within a huge existence of a false reality, which is the internet. And if you realize that community, then you can separate yourself from the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because not everybody has, I don't know, I guess the idea to create blessings, but they do have good intentions. And good intentions add up, can become blessings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a community, right? The same communities when we're talking about a hood and all this other shit. It's the same community that I raised the kids in. I swing them on the swings. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I chill and smoke my pot too. But I feel safe in my own community. What scares it is, all the shit that goes on in the world, right? If music is one of these things that, well, fuck, it saves lives, as vulgar as it may seem and what you say, it's what do you call it, artistic expression. Do it, my man. You know what I'm saying? It keeps you out of the street. Look, there's a program. I don't want to say it because at the same time I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it's called Hip Hop Project or something like that. I know it's based out of Toronto, right? You got guys from the States and the UK and all that flying over here to try to get a spot in a small little program. But what I'm saying about the basis of that program, it needs to be everywhere. And, you know what I mean? We need to start to have rappers that are in the game create fucking programs. I mean, if Drake can do it, why, you know what I mean? Why stop there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is also the ideal of sitting there and bridging the gap with the old and young. You know what's crazy, too, back onto that live thing? I had a song that my brethren sent to me. Now, he's up in the industry, right? This is a guy that I looked up to, like, since I was a little kid. So, he's, you know what I mean? And he's got a name. So now he's doing music with his niece. Anyway, he put a song on Candy's show, and it sounded like, what do you call it, gum rap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was also because it was coming through, what do you call it, like a cell phone or something. Like, it wasn't clarity-wise, it wasn't clear. When I heard the track itself, I didn't mind after when I looked at the link right on YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once again, because I commented it right to my brethren after, like, yo, you know your show, it got reviewed on the show, and I called it bubblegum rap, and he started laughing. Because I told him, I'm like, not everything is going to be my cup of tea.
Yeah.
This is not a rapper that you can play games with either. I don't want to mention names, but this is a guy that Cameron once quoted as best lyricist out there. So you're sitting there going, all right, if you listen to 90% of his repertoire, you're going to like him. You have the new changes that these guys are starting to do to adapt with the young, and it's not going to be all of our cup of tea. But is that for me to sit there and judge? You know what I mean?
Wow.
You gotta look at that too. And sometimes you don't even know who's on your fucking live. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started listening to Jersey, you had some of the Bone Thugs, the newer camp coming in and dropping their tunes.
Yeah.
Next thing you're getting linked with Busy Bone himself and shit doing lives, and well, that kind of stopped after that little thing with what's his name there, that rapper there pulling out muskets and shit.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But he kind of dimmed it down a little bit. But before, you used to be able to find him right on the live and go, "What up, big man?" And I have a name that stands out. So, "Oh, Fireblaze, what up?"
Yes.
That's what really kind of caught it too. I'm like, ain't nobody in this world is untouchable. Nobody has, well, some people do. They're stuck up, but a lot of people aren't stuck up. If you reach out to them, you know, it's funny too, because one time you were talking about radio stations, college stations, but that was a question: how do you get to these things other than researching? So I did like, all right, radio directory of college stations, etc.
Yeah.
I didn't get exactly what I was looking for, but I did get a directory. So I just called up some of these numbers just out of shits and giggles. Hi, my name is whatever, and I'm consolidating about this and inquiries. And
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how far I got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a step that you got to take outside the box. Think more business-like, and it can work. But I am saying, if these review shows did get together in the long run, though, collectively, you can pick out about 8 of them that you're cools with, hosts are cools with the host. Those are the people that you got to sit there and try to make it happen, even with artists. Put out a flyer, sit there and go, it's a multi-something event. Let's work out a location. Remember, shit ain't going to happen overnight, so you give yourself, 5 to even 8 months.
Yeah.
You're planning a winter event or an early next spring event or something of this nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit could really pop. And this is the thing. If only a couple of years back, I'm sitting there going, all right, you've watched certain shows rise, fail. Some of them are succeeding and going beyond heights. Like, I believe, like you said, Candy is the next bang. You know what I'm saying? So if these are the same people that only in less than a year can make big things happen, just think if we all put our minds together. We could have literally an event that spans like Caravana, 50 fucking years, yearly.
Yeah.
Thousands of people come to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Woodstock and weird shit like that, right?
Yeah. Shout out to my man Fire Blaze, yo. I didn't even know he talks this much. Shout out to that.
You know what it is? It's just because I watch, I observe. Like, even the track I put out the other day, I just did for shits and giggles. That's off a cell phone.
Yeah.
But my idea was that is like, if people could start themselves off a beat, I'll jazz that beat up. That beat's fucking sick. I'll put some bullshit from movies. It's all crazy. Now, my lyrics are real sick in the sense that they're lyrical. Is the quality good? No, not at all. You know what I mean? But it's not a review show, right? So I sent it in. All right, let's see what
because we're
happens.
not gonna
You
do
know what I mean?
that. Shout out.
Nobody's ever heard me until I'm doing my own little thing, and most of the time I don't leave it up there, right? Like, I'll post my shit and okay, get my shits and giggles, and I'm done, right? If I wanted to seriously get into it, like I was back in the day to an extent, or with some of the man that I was trying to push or still pushing, then I'd be like, all right, yeah, let me go for the gusto. But the ideal is, all right, if you do have the links, utilize them. Once you get beyond a certain point, web-wise, like my thing with the internet is it's worldly, right? So I'm talking to people in the UK, people in Australia, people everywhere. Like, if we can make an event down here, because in the end of the day, it's hip-hop. And in the end of the day, in this industry, you got to be in the States to be the big guy. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean to say you can't be an international artist or start in the States and start traveling. Like, look at Madonna. Half of her tour money is from abroad.
Yeah.
But let's be real. The big break came in the States. So if we can get the idea that, hey, there's an underground platform and people will literally fly the fuck in here every fucking summer to network. Like, I'm thinking big, like a car show. You see how they got little kiosks and shit? Like, think about it in that perspective. Even if you had on-spot interviews, like I said, that's another thing that is hard when it comes to these review shows. You only got so much time. Interviews do take up a lot of time. They do not always go so well, and they're off the top of the dome, right? So it's a hard thing to bargain, but I find if the artist, for example, has 3 tracks lined up in the sense how you do it, and you talk a little bit about the tracks, about themselves and all that, they do it. It makes real radio stations and real people saying, hey, this guy takes his career serious. He's ready for the next move. If you have a couple of those in the same summer, like I said, even if it just started that way, between the same 4 to 8 shows, I believe we can really become our own industry. Like, it's not even a joke no more. Like, we already are the underground industry, but we could be, like, in your face.
Shout out to Fire Blaze, man. You know, I was thinking the same thing. Big shout out to everybody listening. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Fire Blaze is letting a lot of shit out right now. So, for those who are wondering, we are talking about, situations with what I believe is the toxin of the review show. Those who take their stuff serious, those who grow, those who have disappeared. And my man Fireblaze is in the building, and he's discussing his thing, and which is really crazy because Fireblaze is, I think, at 95% of all these review shows just spectating sometimes, and which is really crazy because I don't know how the hell he had all that time, but we just discussed that about him being on house arrest, so he had the time to do all that. So shout out to that. But now the thing is, Fireblaze is also one of these dudes that, you know, looks at things at a different perspective. Yes, we do have our own community. Yes, we do. But a lot of these dudes, and you mentioned Jersey a lot, which is crazy because I was up there when they started popping off.
Yeah, I remember you moving everything.
Yeah, so when I was up there, and that problems and beef started happening, I was thinking the same thing. Some of these people are just really big headed. You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard when everybody got certain goals and aspirations and stuff like that, and don't remember the common goal. Because I can't fuck with some of these people in Jersey because they're literally taking money from artists, and the whole core of my show is that artists find the way to do this without spending bread or too much of it, because it is an expensive dream to have, but there are ways that you, especially this day and age, that you don't really have to spend all that much, you know, and that's what we're here for. I know that you know that, because it seemed like you brought so many throwback episodes in there. I'm like, yo, you remember that? Like when.
Which funny because I watched some of these artists link prior before them actually linking, and I'm like thinking in my mind just like a proposition, like what if this happened? And then to see it happen and then go, okay, these guys have made a track. Not only did they make a track, but they're not in the same room. Look at the quality of how this shit sounds. It's only a matter of time. By the time that they're actually starting to make links, like example, Drex and Brooklyn Ledge, now you got them in the same room. Look, the world's gonna turn upside down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's that, and that was crazy. You know that was a long story. My exposure to that, but that's one of these things, right? We find, the good and the bad of this. What do you think are some of the good things out of these review shows?
Okay, connections are a good thing.
Okay.
Not all review shows, but some review shows do take time to educate and try to give a little bit of knowledge here and there. I'm gonna say some of them, the hosts themselves, depending on who the host is and what they can do or what the intention of the show is, after the fact of just hosting the show, right? You have some that will take the inch and stretch the mile, and you have others that are just like, all right, that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
And I think that goes both ways. I mean, you have some guys that only tune in because they only care about their music getting heard, and you have some hosts that only play selective artists because they're the ones making the numbers, and they don't give time to some of the other artists. So, like, if you're cutting off a show or a song 30 seconds into it, if the premise of the show is gas it or trash it or something like that, or throw it in the trash or whatever, okay, it makes sense. You got to take that risk. But if it's based on, I guess I would say, popularity, and you watch that show every fucking week and the same dickheads are in the show, it doesn't make sense. You probably ain't going to get heard on that show. And that's something that I said comes with the emotional ties to people. I find that's a little weird, too, because after a month, if nobody tunes in, then, yeah, you get all emotional drama from artists and hosts, and you're like, the fuck? I'm tuning into another one, you know?
Word. I think I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't. Not unless somebody's like, I mean, targeting you, calling you fucking line, going on every line, harassing you, stopping you from your business. Or, like my other brother said there earlier on, if you come in and you're trolling my music and every time you throw in, you know, bad scores because you don't like what I think about yours, then that's just stupid. But You really can't stop that. I mean, look, I get blocked for giving likes. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Shout out to the homie
Like literally, I'm
Fireblaze.
blocked on every feature on Facebook right now. But I mean, I keep it moving.
That's because
I
you
go
be
to
going
YouTube
in.
and
You be
can
going
post
in on the
those links.
shares and all that stuff. Big shout out to
Put
the
out
homie.
watch parties. Yeah, I find a way out of it.
Yo, man, shout out to my man Fireblaze. Fireblaze, you said that you you out there promoting a bunch of artists, man. Where can you find them?
Okay, well, like I said, you got Dre Bars, you got Kareem Saeed, you got Isaiah the Prophet and Soul Pro, and then you got the man them from this side of the lane, Brooklyn Ledge, Drex, all of those guys, Shea Bars, yeah, I could go at Zoo Capo, Nitty Blanco, Tommy Tracks. I mean, yeah, I can name artists for days. All of them, most of them got their links up and all the metadata. They don't have it with all their tracks. That was one thing I wanted to say I don't really like about review shows. In one sense, I find artists are putting tracks up way too quickly, if you understand that.
Yes.
If you take something like the Fugees, there's a reason why that album is a classic. There's a reason why Lauryn Hill is not putting out music the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually a tragedy album if you really take it in. But what I'm saying, the substance of that, that's why it's long lasting. If I could go to review shows and let's say in a month instead of dropping fucking 5 to 8 tracks and then they go absolutely nowhere, take the time to sit there and put in those 2 tracks, see if they go anywhere. If they do get ratings and or reviews that you can sit there and go, you know what, I could probably fuck with the hook better. I could maybe even drop the hook altogether and make a girl sing it. You know, them type of little tricks of the trade, put in some ad-libs or sound effects or whatever, it makes more sense to work on the 2 tracks.
Shout out to Fireblaze. I'm telling you, man, out of everybody and anybody that I really couldn't even think of, this dude is in everybody's life. He's learned a lot. He's learned, and what's crazy is that I don't think that you really like see yourself not fucking with people, you know, because of who you are, which is really crazy. But you know, shout out to you, shout out to Fireblaze for the call in. Where can anybody find you? Do you want your life private? Because I think you have a private life. You are only one of the few that I have made it on my Facebook.
Yeah, no, you can find me at Fireblaze on Facebook. Yeah, I don't have any other outlets at the moment. Yeah, not that I really care to either.
Big shout out to my man Fireblaze. It's so great to hear from you, and you still are ghosting, which is really crazy. He's still ghosting. He's always in the building. I really appreciate mad years. It's true story. It's years that you've been rocking with us. So I really appreciate that, man.
Blessings, Traffic, blessings QSJ, one of the hottest radio stations on the net. Like I said, don't be afraid to check them out. Mad Love is that exact quote, Mad Love. If you watch Ray Charles' movie and you remember the mom, yeah, I'm going to tell you how it is. This is hard living, and yeah, but it works. It saves lives, man.
Shout out to my man Fireblaze. We'll talk soon.
Guidance, brother, guidance.
Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Home to the unsigned artists, man. Wow, I didn't expect Fireblaze to hit me up. That was crazy. That was cool, too. That motherfucker went in, too. Wow. Where we at, man? Where we at? We only got a few minutes left. I'll take this call. Call me sign down. Unpin that. Charlie Guest in the building, hasn't learned a damn thing. I see you. Hasn't learned a damn thing. You're over here laughing at everything.
QSJ Radio.
Shout out to everybody listening. Charlie Guest, don't doubt me. QSJRadio.com.
Sit tight, it's a bright light, get your life right. Gotta get it pinned just right and get my mind right. When I get to sitting and feeling, looking at the ceiling, pain is really killing and feeling all the adrenaline. Becoming a regiment and becoming a gentleman. I'm truly genuine, but no one sees it, no one believes it. But I'm showing now, I grab the pen, cause the pain now. Gonna run like a running back, throw like a quarterback, just keep on doing me. Gotta make plays with music, gonna take blind eyes and help them open and see. Don't doubt, cause it's really not make believe. My faith is here, I'm here for free. Listen close, you truly don't gotta fear. I'm here for your soul to finally see. I had people doubt my abilities, but it didn't faze me. I knew what was inside me was truly gonna come out at some point and be a blessing to the people around me. This is my time. Never gonna quit cause I'm living when I'm spitting. Truly get to understand my words are truly fitting. Giving praise to the one my gift is truly given. Everyone has gotta know the Lord has kept me driven. Nah, cause dying on the cross don't mean counterfeit, straight up fake, keep it real, loving you, living life, admitting to nothing, pitting my words you hear from this mic I'm sending. Trying to live right and fight the good fight, never gonna fear, turn the dark into light. In the rap game, gonna aim, no shame. If this is magic, this is Charlie Blaine. Bars about Christ, so insane, I'm coming through just like a train. Hope you know that I'm a rep, but God has got these plans for me. Again, people have done me wrong, said I wasn't gonna amount to anything. But I'm here to tell you those are lies, and if that's been said to you, just show them what God's blessed you with. Blessed you with. Not done yet, never done, never satisfied. Gotta keep going even if I'm petrified. Made with no fear, the Lord has got me ever fly. Lasting impact going all worldwide. This is my reason, cause it is my season. Learning to discern the pain my degrees in. Words that you hear but you don't really listen. Words so deep that you don't even get it. Hope you know the Holy Ghost, get to know and feel in my music. I'm really gonna show them, just hit the floor with your hands high. Get to knowing truth, that's the good life. Take your pain and just say goodbye. All the tears gone, there's no room to cry. Sadness coming from your eyes, he'll wipe away every pain inside.
For the unsigned, go to get heard. QSJ Radio.
Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com, home of the unsigned artists. So, as we come to the end of this show today, you know, it's really not what we do all the time. We don't bash the world or, you know, talk about these review shows all the time. There's been a lot of what I call toxins. And some artists have played into that and has put a Cash App symbol on a pin for them to be part of that community. So there's some pros, right? We talked about it right now. The music connections, personalities, people that you never would probably have messed with, or you would probably have messed with. You hear their songs, you can relate to their songs, you want to be people's, they're different walks of life. All this other stuff is through music connections. And some of them are in the building, some of them have done that. That dorky review show, I would have had a friend like that. I know I would have. But some of the other people would have never fucked with that dude. But then they realized he's smart. He's this. I worry that some of them are taking advantage of that kid because of how smart he is or how he's working. But they're not even close to honest that they would never have fucked with a dude that weird, that dorky. And that's why I can't fuck with some of them. Because these are the type of people that I'm protecting when it comes to the unsigned artists. The weirdos, the ones that don't know. I really don't like the review shows that promote self. They go in, they play, and then they go in for a little half hour with their own songs. Now, I do that myself because I can. And I do that because of also as a history lesson. That I also know what it means to be the artist that is not heard. And you guys are listening. So I just want to get heard. But some of these dudes are doing lives to get their numbers up just so they can get heard. Not you. And I hate that. I wanted to talk about how long the show's been going on, and I'm going to just tell you right now, we've been doing audio for 2 or 3 years before the video live stream started. And there were so many companies that were alive and well and doing big things. One of them that's still around is Ustream. And then there's some that are never around at all anymore. Minicam and a whole bunch of other places. And I hated that they were gone. They were easy. They were accessible. Some of them were the first time that on a cell phone you could go live. The big guys in the big places took a hold of them, bought their stuff off, and then used their technology to benefit them. And I've seen it. I talked about the R&R, Roast and Review Show. They're almost up to a year old, but they have an extreme backing. I'm not at the level that they're at. I will never try to be at that level that they're at. That's a job they got to do. Places they got to be. People they got to break hearts. They are in a level where everything that they are getting, they deserve because of the hard work that they put in. But when people are going to that show, you have to understand. That's like going to Charlemagne. You are going to get roasted. In some form of another, you're gonna hate your life. So if you go into a review show that is lethal, you have to expect that, regardless of how fly or hot everybody else thinks your song is. I saw somebody earlier on one of the 51st episode of the Dorky Review Show, that somebody said that the R&R or KO, they pioneered the review show. Well, that's a no. I'm going to tell you that's a no, because I've been around for a long time. These review shows have been around before the lives. They wouldn't be so specific, but our artists would be able to upload a song to a website, and somebody with some kind of background would be able to tell you what is wrong with your song. That's just how it always been. I believe that reviews have been around for like 20 years. Not gonna lie. 20 fucking years. So when people are like, oh, that dude, he started this. No, he didn't. Shout out to my homie TJ Chapman. TJ Chapman is TJ DJs, which is also a pioneer mixtape DJ from the South that got his credentials in the early 80s and 90s and currently. And his credentials matter. So when he says that your song is trash or your intro's too long or anything, you have to listen, because he has broken artists into this industry that no one else can. Most recently, B.O.B., K-Camp, Trey Beckham, TJ Beckham, I believe it's called. All these artists that he has been able to break through in the industry. So when people are getting hurt, their feelings hurt because they send in money to somebody who is probably going to demolish your track, you need to listen to that shit resubmitted again. Because if you really think that they're talented, you have to pass by people like that all the time, especially if they're label representatives. Listen, this whole QSJ thing, this is a family business. All right? I can stop today and I'm still good. But it's a passion I got. And I really like it when I start seeing everybody else who has passion for the radio, passion to figure out, what it is that I could do for the artist, for myself, for my format, for my business. How can I make money? How can I make money? How can I be happy doing what I'm doing? But at the same time, sometimes the money is not important. The important part is that everything goes well during a stream or well during a live session, a radio interview. Everything you want to expect the artist to bring so much energy that you're just gonna love that artist forever, because that show was popping because that artist came in the building and killed it. There's so many other things that as a radio host that you worry about that it's just not you. It's just not. It's really crazy. This has got me into being a judge at battles. This has gotten me cameos in music videos. This has got me friendships with people I can't even tell you about, okay? Because I just show support. I'm at parties. I'm at this. I'm at that. There's just so much love. And some artists didn't even believe that it was like that. People get excited when they hear my name, and I appreciate that. It's really touching, and I can't tell you how much that I do that so the unsigned artists can legitimize themselves when they say, yes, I've been played on QSJ radio. There's always self-doubt, giving up. Where's the reward? How patient are you? I'll tell you right now, the oldest artist that in my history to break through was Mystical. When he broke free at 39 years old. By then he already had 13 albums, and it was one song that got him on the map into the hip-hop culture. And I want to give a shout out to Meek Mill. Meek Mill has been around for a very long time. Shout out to Philly Zone. And he just kept pushing. He kept doing mixtapes, kept making relationships. He kept trying to make sure that he wasn't part of no battle shit. But, the hate came, and it came heavy. But shout out to Meek Mill and all these other people that were breaking free and doing this thing for a long time. Shout out to French Montana. He was also somebody that did it for a long time. And now congratulations to Christian Dior. He got the green light, and I think it's going to be on and popping. So I just want people to understand, giving up, stop with the instant gratification. Just because somebody doesn't like your song doesn't mean shit. You still got to push either radio, make friends with DJs, do this whole thing. If you find a review show and they do stuff that's like, artist of the week, or somebody could perform here, hop on that, take the risk, and take the flight to the show, man. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. I'm going to check on my comments right now if I have any, which I probably don't. Shout out to Bobby Tillman, Superman in the building. Just checking my emails, just checking my stuff here. Make sure you guys remember Tuesday, July 16th, Drew Yates will be in the building. Oh, man. Hey, let's pray for everybody out there in the south border, Louisiana, all these other places, man. Mother Nature could be a fucking problem sometimes. I'm getting tired. I know. Shout out to Vic. Make sure you do get enough sleep and all that stuff. Shout out to that. Shout out to everybody listening, man.
Where the unsigned go to get heard. QSJ Radio.
Next time I'll leave my phone line open. Oh, man. Make sure you guys check out the Mix 101 Radio, That Dorky Show, Eargasm, which is really a real cool show. I really like her input. She's also a gamer out there, so Shout out to that whole day, man. Oh my God. I'm gonna go, guys. I can't do like your boy Chris Neely and just stay on the air. This show is brought to you by the homie Wavy Fuego. Go to his SoundCloud, take his beats, man, rap over them and send it to us. Wavy Fuego on SoundCloud. Shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Sweaty Palms, we're gonna talk, man. We're gonna talk tomorrow. I hope you took down the number. Shout out to everybody listening in. I'm so tired. Oh my gosh.